Go ahead and...
It's a deep subject.
It is. It is.
Sorry, I'm terrible. I know.
You are. But that's okay.
I was about to say, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you are. Just end it with that. Yeah, no, you are. No. But, last time, having somewhat, for the most part, solved the riddle within the crypt, all of you came back upstairs and traveled to Charlea, actually, in the hopes of speaking to Kryl as well as the rest of the Scions. In doing so, you were all pulled out to... wait, no, sorry, before that, Ginger had actually come in to talk to all of you and show you the beginnings of the final days, or at least the start of the final days. Into that, you went to Charlea to meet with the Scions, and whilst there, had an encounter of sorts with Aedwin's father, as well as Arnaldur. Through the course of which, both of them transformed into massive primal versions of Leviathan, being Aedwin's father, and Shiva encircling him, who he had previously revealed to be Aedwin's true mother. Arnaldur, not wanting to, or not one to be put down by someone beneath him, unleashed his own transformation and revealed that while Sky had two meager primals in his eyes, Arnaldur possessed what he said were three elder primals, which I forgot to pull up my notes so that way I could tell you the three that he claimed again. 1 second. Where are they? Where are they? No, that's not it. That's not it. Here it is. Arnaldur claimed to wield the Master of Time, the Undying Fire, and the Demon God himself, whomsoever those are. In their clash, you all felt an enormous amount of ether being released by these two individuals, and though she herself was not necessarily blessed or special like any of you, Nia decided that it was likely best that she be the one to attempt to stop them. Though it was not necessarily something that anyone wanted, in aiding her, Velvy gave her 30 of her munitions ammo, and in a combined joining of power between all of the party, you managed to release the energy for some kind of spell that would send them away to hopefully limit whatever might come. Unknowing of exactly what their fate is, and with Charlea now having a new etching into their harbor, you all managed to, I believe, pull back to your house, if I'm not mistaken.
We went to meet Kryl.
Oh, right, you went to meet Kryl, where you learned a little bit, and you did learn that the Warrior of Light at the moment is on the moon, and that the Scions were going to be joining them shortly. Although, after the massive display, That's right. You guys went to the Tower of Babel first before being teleported to Charlayan, so that we could talk to the Scions and get them. And then they said that they would meet you shortly. However, they arrived shortly after you had sent them away, and Y'shtola seemed rather taken aback by the display of power from the group, and wasn't necessarily expecting the group to be able to be capable of performing such a feat. Going to meet with Kryl, I believe going to meet with Kryl was the last thing you did, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're nuts if you think I'm going to shuffle 51 times.
I didn't know what it was for. Okay.
I mean, I can roll a d6. You usually ask for a d6.
Ten will do. 10 will do.
All right.
I didn't know what it was for. You just said give me a number.
I
Yeah.
said I'm doing the draw.
Oh.
All right. So, to begin, I would like to start with a couple of descriptions of some items that the party has recently come into acquisition of. Starting first with Magnus. While Velvy usually wears some kind of relatively dapper attire for her class, one thing you have all noticed her wearing is a deceptively simple ensemble that boasts the protection of plate, but the flexibility of leather. Consisting primarily of what appears to be rather form-fitting leather, when equipped and attuned, the armor itself has a protective layer of adamantine-coated plates that expand down from the collar to form a protective layer over the torso and some pauldrons over the shoulders. From the waist, extruding outwards, is yet another protective layer of adamantine coated plates that extend all the way down and essentially form what would effectively be plate mail, or plate armor, rather. The arms of the leather seem to have these like magical runes that have been etched into the leather itself. It also comes with a rather stylish half jacket.
Very nice. Very nice.
There's nothing special about the half jacket, it is just a mundane item, but it is very stylish.
Hell yeah.
Hey, not everything needs to function. Some
true.
things can just be form.
That's true. Crane has a cape of billowing, if I remember correctly. And all it does is just billow dramatically.
No,
Or
my
heroically.
cape is changing. I can make it look.
Oh, right. Right. The second one I wish to describe is the weapon that Aidwin is now carrying. This, which boasts a much thicker blade than most rapiers, appears to be hot to the touch near the hilt of the blade, and seems to get progressively hotter the farther up the blade you go, and with the blade itself sort of changing colors to match the heat, with close to the tip of the blade being or close to the tip of the blade glowing white. The hilt of the blade has these what look like two large demon horns that curve backwards and meet at the pommel, with the horns themselves having this faint red glow on the horns more towards the pommel of it itself. Separating the blade itself with the hilt, the guard of the blade appears to have an intricately designed golden inlay, with the design itself seeming to be depicting fire spitting out of what you would assume to be a roaring flame.
Sick.
So there you Also, Aidman, upon attuning to it, you find out that your rapier has a legendary Ifrit materia attached to it, which adds 48 fire damage to all attacks made with the rapier.
Wait, 48 or 4d8?
4d8.
Okay. I should
Ye-
also open my sheet and put that in there because
Here, I'll
did
put it
not
in
know that.
Discord for both of you in case you want to copy down the descriptions. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's one hell of a fucking card to pull, Mars.
Yep, that's what the deck decided.
So the draw was the world reversed, which is disappointment or a lack of vision.
Dio Brando.
Indeed. So, gathering into the Baldessian Annex, all of the scions, including Estinian and Kryl, as well, are gathered there, waiting.
BRB gonna go seduce the Azure Dragoon.
Is his hair all tied up all nice?
It is.
That
Didn't-
ponytail though.
Shit, it didn't work. Hey, Cry, how about you?
Oh wait, sorry, no, Kryl is not there yet.
If it's
And-
the event of the Tower of Babel, she's probably knocked the fuck out.
No. This would be sometime after.
Oh, okay.
Alize and Kryl are the two that are not there currently. It seems like they are waiting for those two to show up. Oh, the Warrior of Light is also there. It seems she is back.
Okay.
Is there anything any of you wish to do? Or are you just going to wait?
I'm a little bit on the starstruck side, so I'm just going to stand in the corner and kind of just look around.
Alright. By the way, I did post pictures in the, I believe, other picture stuff. No, in the proper art channel, a little ways up, about what the Baldessian Annex room itself looks like, which is the room that you guys are currently in. Oh. Excuse me.
Yay.
Excuse me.
I mean, Star's gonna take to the awkward silence and just kind of rock back and forth a bit, and then look towards the Warrior of Light. So the moon, huh? What's it like up there?
Not what you would expect.
Really?
I'll be honest. I'm kind of expecting there to just not be anything up there.
There's a surprising amount on the moon, actually.
Oh.
One second. Okay. She says, but I will get to all of that once Alize and Krell have joined us. Oh, I'm just forgetting to mention people not here. Rianche is also not here. That's the last one that's not here.
I was about to say, like, wait, if it's correct, he should not. Oriente shouldn't be here.
Yeah, sorry. That is the last one that I forgot to mention, though, for sure. So,
He's just not coming back for a while.
yeah.
Damn, trying to deal with his speech patterns, cough cough.
Yeah, lucky for bait.
Yeah, right. Okay. Hey Bongo, if you wouldn't mind, we need
The music from Old Charlie.
There we go. There we go. The Baldessian Annex music.
Nice.
All right. Anything else?
I mean, if we're gonna get everything explained, we'll probably just wait for them to all come back.
Exactly.
All right. So giving us some time, eventually Alize and Kryle do arrive. Alize starts by saying, "Sorry to have kept you all waiting." Stola just kind of shakes her head and says, "Not at all. We understand that you've been quite busy." Kryle looks up and sort of looks around the room for a moment and says, "Will Urianger not be joining us?" And the Warrior of Light shakes her head. Thancred speaks up and says, "Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Fumiri can explain why better." And the Warrior of Light begins to explain. She explains that on the moon, there exists a place called Mare Lamentorum, which houses a... Best to describe them as an ancient, a being similar to the Ascians, though he was created by Hydaelyn, apparently, to keep as watcher over Zodiark. In her travels to the moon, she was followed by the Talafaroi, Fandaniel, as well as Xenos, who sought to free Zodiark from his cage. Fandaniel specifically wanted to try and take control over Zodiark and use his powers to rend reality asunder. However, this did not come to pass, and though it was a difficult battle, Zodiark has been not only defeated, but destroyed. In doing so, the laws of reality, which he once held sway over, the very thing that was keeping this star alive, is no more. And as a result, the final days have begun in earnest because of this. Unfortunately, at this time, we do not know if there is any real way to save the star. However, there does exist a possibility of escape using the moon. Graha speaks up and says, "And we are to escape via the moon? What of the source and its reflections?" Stenian speaks up and says, "I've no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So how do we stop this?" To which Y'shtola responds, "Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarant, the solution would be to alter the flow of aether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiark, sacrificing half the star's population in the doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice must not, nay, cannot, be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Emerodines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum." Alphino speaks up and says, "There's still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Emerodines' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan." Stola speaks up and says, "Perhaps we should start with the form then. Having worked with the Loporits in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us."
Loporits? Star will pipe up.
"Oh, right. They are the creatures that are to ferry us away to another star. They were created by Hydaelyn in preparation for when the final days would return. They are admittedly rather adorable. Intentionally so. They were, when Heidelin created them, she created them with the sole purpose of guiding the people from the star, which we have come to find out is actually called Theris, which is the self-same world that the Asians used to call home.
I'm sorry, you keep saying that word Emirati. Is that something that we should know about? Is there a Cliff's Notes version?
In truth, it's not, the place itself is not wildly important at this point. Emirat was the DM's drawing a blank exactly what Emirat itself was.
It was the capital
it was
city.
literally a
Capital
memory
city,
and
that's right.
echo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I forgot the exact, but it was the capital city of the Asians back in their time.
They weren't called the Essenes then.
Well, obviously not,
Ancient
but
ones.
everyone knows them as the
Wow.
Asians now, so.
yeah. I see. And what did they do all that time ago? I mean, is there anything that we can draw from that they used to do that, like, what stopped their final days from happening versus what we can try to do now?
They avoided catastrophe by sacrificing half of their population to summon Zodiark.
Oh.
That sounds like almost a catastrophe. Catastrophe in its own right.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The Emirats, or Emiratines, after having done so, were yet further fractured between themselves. Half of their remaining population saw Zodiark as not more than their god and savior, while the other half saw him as a beast that needed to be caged. Thus was Heidelin summoned, using half of the remaining half. And she acted as his jailer ever since.
Seems like an inefficient means of jailing if they only had half of the people available. How was she able to hold him in check for so long?
Maybe that's part of the problem.
The creation magics employed by the Emiratines are still, as of yet, largely unknown. Such magics man has not possessed, from what we can tell, since their time. If we knew more about creation magic, perhaps we could infer a little bit more, but unfortunately, we have no answers right now.
Wonder if Arnalder would know anything about that stuff.
As if he'll hand over information.
I'm aware. Though maybe Dad would know too,
But
since he's been around that long too. Apparently.
we could always bother Quinn. He's also been around for quite a long time.
While
That's
we're there
true.
at Quinn, we can check the library itself down there.
Yes,
Arnaldo's
we could.
library.
The door bursts open, and a small Lalafell, wearing some admittedly relatively simple cloth, a relatively simple cloth attire, who you all recognize as Tataru, comes running in. And she, panting a little bit, she says, "Forgive the interruption, but I've urgent news. the forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. To which Alize looks over at Alphino and begrudgingly, through half-gritted teeth, it just goes, "And what is Father up to now?" Kyle just looks around at everyone and says, "There's only one way to find out." And all of them go rushing out.
Should we follow them? Or should we just kind of go do our own thing?
I see no reason not to.
Beyond that, we're not really supposed to be seen. We're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be here because we're the ones who destroyed their...
Maybe we should just kind of hang out and see what happens. We'll just hang out for a minute and just
Listen,
let them...
even if we go out, worst case scenario, we create a doorway and step back into our own dimension.
Fair.
Honestly speaking, there's no real threat to us that we can't escape from now.
That's true. Ginger gave us a very powerful thing to keep in our pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all paid her a lot to do it, so...
I mean, yeah.
So do y'all go out?
Yeah, though. She also didn't have to go as above and beyond as she did, I would point out.
I know, but
But
we all
she
know the
loves
reason
his
why
eyes.
she wants it in someone's pants.
I don't know what you're
At
talking
least-
about.
True. So are we going or not, guys?
So we can get away. If
I
we
think
have.
we might be able to learn some information. Let's go before they get talking to stuff that we don't understand, like usual.
Alright. So, running out, you're not too far behind the Scions. And as you get up, you can see there's a large gathering of people, and you can hear all of them just kind of murmuring amongst each other and talking. Standing in front of these very large double doors, you can see several white-robed individuals, some of them having like hats on with like tiny little almost wedding veils in front of their face, but some of them not having anything on their head. And one of them steps forward, says, "Order! Order, I say!" And with that, everyone kind of, the murmuring begins to slow down and subside. And he says, "I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day, we speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Charlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talafaroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether, for we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The end-bearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star." You can hear all of the crowd begin to murmur once more before the man speaks up. "Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the forum's most sacred duties. But first," and he turns back to one woman who does not have a hat on, and she nods and pulls out this rather large book and begins to open it. And holding one hand over it, she says, "Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken." And with that, you can soon see aether radiating out from the book, and soon all of the individuals with the white robes, there's this like faint shimmering of ether around them that just kind of shatters away. And he turns back, the one in front turns to another individual who has this like pulled back blonde hair that's tied behind his head in a ponytail. And he says, "Master Levier, if you would." And he steps back, and the other individual steps forward. And Fortuno speaks and says, "Very well. 270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access this ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Heidelin herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might yet be spared. The moon. 'Tis, in truth, a gargantuan vessel, built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Neumcraft's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home." The individual from before speaks up and says, "Needless to say, this would be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Heidelin who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come." One Elysian man from the crowd shouts out, "And you reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?" The other man speaks up and says, "Well, we cannot say with certainty. We believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago, which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we elected Master Levier to oversee this initiative." Fortuno speaks up and says, "Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Charlea has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier." And the entire crowd erupts into, well, not really erupts, but you can hear them all give like a not silent. You can hear them all give like a cheer and just kind of nod towards him. The other individual speaks up and says, "Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close." With that, everyone begins to disperse, and most of the Forum re-enters the building behind them. Alize speaks up and says, and it seems to just kind of be speaking, although there does seem to be a hint of that it's aimed towards Alphino. And she says, "Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of the star, then..." Alphino just kind of nods and says, "Yes, it wasn't for his benefit." He looks to all of you and says, "Would you mind waiting here for a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave." And they just, the rest just kind of nod, and you hear Fumi just tell him, "Take your time." And he nods and says, "Thank you. It shan't be long." And both him and Alize walk over to Fortuna. Thank you for going. I took so long transcribing that entire fucking cutscene.
You did so good.
I was literally like alt-tabbing and writing it down as it was appearing and shit. Oh my god. I was gonna be really sad if y'all just chose not to go.
You're welcome.
Alright.
Okay.
Anything you wish to do?
Who is that guy? Their
Which
dad?
one? There was a lot of them.
She was more talking about the
I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just being snarky. I'm sorry.
She's kind of just gonna point after the Ellison guy that the twins were chasing after.
That is Fortuno Levier, their father.
Oh.
Edwin's just kind of gonna grab her chin and just kind of Fortuno. Didn't some guy come looking for us when we were staying at your dad's place, Star,
Yes.
with that name?
Yeah.
Huh. That
Sure.
was months
should
ago.
Talk to them about it.
That was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there. We could go.
Well, we're not supposed to be here still. I'm sure that he's...
Do you want to go see him?
Again, we can leave whenever we want.
Could also
That's
turn you
true.
invisible. So that
Hmm.
might be sketchier.
Are the twins like way away at this point, or are they kind of like?
Yeah,
just
they're pretty far
nearby?
away. They're over
Okay.
near Fortuno talking to him right now.
Oh, okay.
They just made an announcement of the final days. Are they seriously going to worry about paperwork?
You'd be surprised.
Then do we really want them handling, saving a bunch of people? I
Look,
mean, I get that organizational paperwork is important, but immigration documents? Really?
I don't know.
But now's our chance if we want to go approach him, so come on.
Yes, I don't
Right.
see any problem with it. Let's go.
You're right.
And I'll walk before before anybody answers.
I'll join you.
Alright. Approaching, the twins sort of look back towards you before looking at their father and just kind of nodding and beginning to walk back towards the party. Although Alphino stops and just kind of looks at all of you and says, I dare say if I was a betting man, which I'm not, for the record, there's something else being hidden. And he continues to walk.
Hey, you might actually want to stay for this conversation. She'll hook arms with him as he passes.
And then
Belvy
Edwin
grabs
will-
Alize.
yeah, Edwin will just kind of then call after, Sir Fortuno. That's his name, right? Yeah, Fortuno.
Looks over at all of you. And you would be...
A year ago, you showed up on my father's farm looking for us.
Friends of the Warrior of Light, but also that.
kind of narrows his eyes for a moment. And both
Light
Alphino
Sparks.
and Alize... Yeah. Both Alphino and Alize kind of like tilt their head in confusion. And he says, "Ah, yes. The one of whom Ulnalder spoke of."
Edwin's gonna like roll her eyes, but also have them widened. Like, does he know everybody?
Apparently.
Admittedly, I did
I
not
was
speak
sleeping
with...
for.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Sorry, no. I thought this guy was sleeping for thousands of years. How is he? And she's just kind of like has an exasperated look, and then kind of motions back to Fortune. Apologize. Continue. Sorry.
I did not speak with him over long, because ere he departed, rather abruptly, admittedly, he spoke of the final days and wanting to avert them, yet offered no means or plan as to how. I declined his offer of aid as a result, since he was an unknown who offered no tangible benefits. When I declined, he spoke of needing to visit an old flame, in his words, and spoke of your father. It wasn't until after I arrived that I learned of you, pointing to you, Adwin. Quinn, admittedly, was reluctant to speak of the matter. But from what I understood, you seem to be someone of interest to an elder.
You could say that.
One of a variety of crazy stalkers that we've encountered since I've been with this group, yes.
Hopefully, we don't have to hear from him too much right now, since we were able to banish him somewhere else.
We really should figure out where we sent them at some point.
Mm. Yes.
But
Probably.
you did the right thing turning him down. He's a madman, all things considered.
Well, I haven't heard from him since that meeting, and when I went to Quinn's house to try and track you down, he did not give your location, and truth be told, I still do have more pressing matters.
Of course. If there's anything that we can do, we're staying with them at the Baldez Annex. So if you need more hands, we're here.
Mm-hmm.
He nods and and leaves. And Alphino kind of looks at all of you and crosses his arms and says, I dare say you are all a lot stranger than I thought.
Oh, it gets weirder, buddy. She'll just
Yeah,
pat his back.
I mean, I could explain to you what my soul is, apparently.
Somehow
That's a weird story.
Somehow I feel like that would only add more questions to the fire.
So many more questions.
Mm-hmm.
You would be correct.
In the meantime, I guess we'll start kind of just walking back to the rest of the Scions over there, since I'm assuming they're still
Yeah.
kind of standing nearby.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of I'm just gonna kind of look at all of them and be like, so what's the plan? I mean, are you gonna plan to, you're not gonna let them just evacuate the planet, are you? There's gotta be something to do.
Famiri shakes her head and says, no, we do not plan on abandoning this star. We may not have answers yet, but Midgard Sormer saw this star as the last bastion of hope. I refuse to believe that he would choose a star that Heidelin would not want us to save.
I'm sorry, who?
Right. Long story short,
we want to keep up with everything, but
of course. To make a long story short, Midgard Sormer is the eldest dragon that came to the star. He was the first, in fact.
just gonna kind of take a second. She's like, so dragons or aliens?
Yes.
And
As
you
strange
know
as that
him-
is.
And you know him how? Actually, wait, that's just gonna be Warrior of Light stuff, honestly. I don't really think we can get a straight explanation for that, honestly.
Through a series of unfortunate events, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, where do you want us to go? What do you want us to do? Well, we don't want to lose this planet any more than you do.
For now, I would simply suggest waiting. We don't truthfully know exactly what is the next goal or the next step to take.
I have a question.
Hmm?
Does the moon, as a way of travel, have enough capacity to hold the entire population of this world?
That and much, much more.
Okay.
It seems.
I was just making sure. So it's bigger on the inside. Got it.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Significantly
who knows
so.
how? I mean, who knows how big it really is? I mean, that's so far away.
Also,
And
the
how
fact
long
is,
has it been there?
a large portion of it was reserved for a giant being of power that is apparently no longer there. So, like, how much of the moon is actually able to be used for containment?
I was just making sure there was enough space. For my own comfort, that everybody would get off the planet if it was required. I'm still not sure it is.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that, but if it does,
Prepare like it's not going to and just hope for the best.
I know this may not be the most apt time to ask, as you guys obviously have connections with dragons. Where would you think it best to find more information on them? I'm looking for the name of a very particular dragon.
Estinian speaks up and says, if it's information about dragons you're looking for, then you can either ask me or travel to Ishgard. Ishgard was in a rather long and bloodied war with the dragons, so you would find no better experts on them than in Ishgard itself.
Perfect.
yeah, we were just there before getting teleported all over the place.
We will need to go back. We're searching for gosh, how does one even
Do you
ask
know
such things?
Do you know their name?
No. Well, did we get the one of the
Dragon
mistress's
name?
name?
Nope.
No, I thought we had a name.
If you do, I hope you wrote it down because I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's what I'm searching my notes for. I thought we might have because
Let me
of
look
the
and see if I wrote
echo.
it down, maybe.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, so I don't remember at all if I gave you the name or not. I'm pretty sure I didn't, though. No, that's not it.
Maybe we didn't. I don't have any in my notes.
Mm-mm.
I do not know.
Um.
Star looks very perplexed as she's thinking on how to ask this question.
Um.
Start. Go ahead and make a. See, recalling information is that. I think that's based off wisdom. What are knowledge checks? Wisdom or intelligence?
History is intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, Star.
History?
No, no, just intelligence.
Oh.
There do exist spells that can recall ancient forgotten information. Which I believe you and Shade probably have access to.
I'm just not sure
That means
what
I've got
we could
access to
use
that.
it on.
Actually, no. You actually. Well, what is the? Yeah, let me check the level of this spell. Okay, I know you passed
It's the one that I'm. It's the one that I'm
it's
thinking
legend
of.
lore.
It's fifth one. Yeah, I was gonna. That's what I was about to say.
Legend lore, which could potentially recall information of this variety.
Legend lore.
Yes, and I believe
You said
it.
that's
Yeah, I
spell?
do have it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember that being on my
If
spell
I was
list.
to gain the name of perhaps the dragon, would you be able to see what kind of information you could gain? I guess she'll ask.
Well, I dare say if you had the name of the dragon itself, we might be able to discern exactly who the dragon was just off of that.
Do you have 10 minutes to spare? She'll start digging around her backpack for stuff.
I don't see why not.
Let me make sure I have this. I'm pretty sure I grabbed ivory strips.
You also have the incense, correct?
I'm checking right now. I do.
Alright. Mark
She's kind
the...
of right there. She'll plop down.
Yeah, so mark off the 250 gold worth of incense. Alright, so name or describe a person, place, or object, and I'll give you some significant lore about it.
One's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could describe her as she wants to be seen, or the dragon to get more info about who she was beforehand. Shit.
Well, seeing as you and I can both cast this ability, why not both? Learn about how they were as the dragon originally, and then
Okay. And then I can describe her to you, and you can use legend lore to... Perfect. I guess I'll focus back on the echoes I saw of them as their dragon self.
Okay. Alright, so as you begin to recall that, go ahead and make another intelligence check for me. See how accurately you can recall the image. Pretty good. Pretty good. As you begin to focus on it and describe what you saw, your mind is filled with this information, knowledge, almost as if you'd always had this knowledge, but are just now remembering it. It's very strange, because you know you didn't know this information before, but now it's as it's coming to your mind, you're like, I already knew this, and it's like you're starting to recall it. It's a very strange sensation. But as you pull forth the information, the information you find is that this I gotta actually look through my notes. Hang on, I gotta find what the fuck her dragon name was.
Oh.
Good lord. All that is terrible. Where is it? Okay. I'm not attempting to pronounce this name. I'm putting it in Discord. That was her name. Or his name.
Her dead name.
Mm-hmm. However, amongst that, you also learn that she was in terms of power, she was second only to Tiamat. That is what you get.
Perfect.
Neandriog.
Neandriog.
That's the best.
That
way
was
to
the
pronounce
dragon's
it.
name. If we must pronounce it out loud, I'm gonna say that.
I mean,
And then she'll look up Edistinian, I guess.
Estinian makes a dragon lore check. Oh boy. That's not good.
Oh no.
He failed.
Oh no. Oh god, I'm so glad he had advantage. Oh, he rolled his first roll was a 2.
Oh,
Oh
God.
lord. Oh no. Thankfully he had advantage, so his final roll was
Rickaroni.
yeah, his final roll thankfully was a 13 before modifiers. It's significantly better. Oh god, I'm glad y'all asked him about dragons and not anything else. Holy shit.
I mean, he's kind of like a big, edgy himbo. I guess he's just a
Look,
duck.
just
and
don't
strong and dumb.
Super
Look.
big himbo boy. Mm.
listen. Just don't say that to his face. He might blush. He thinks for a moment. The name does sound familiar. If I recall correctly, I believe that may have been one of Nidhogg's brothers. Lesser brothers, anyways.
I see.
Hmm. Do you know where we might go and find some more information about them?
As I
More
said,
Ishgard?
unfortunately, Ishgard, as far as I'm aware, is the foremost knowledge about dragons. Although, he kind of looks around for a moment. If the stories of Charlayan knowledge acquisition is to be believed, I fear that even Ishgard's libraries about dragons may pale in comparison.
Hmm.
And Garha speaks up and says, "Yes, and Unfortunately, it seems that at least we are not quite that liked within the libraries of Charlea. Though I couldn't imagine why.
What did you do?
I did nothing more than what a normal scholar might.
Did you go to like the restricted section or something?
No.
What did you do?
About. I'm gonna incite him.
Make an insight. Sure. I mean, we all know it. You're just saying it. He's a liar.
She'll just kind of cross her arms. Just, mm-hmm.
Anyways, I do believe it is time that we get going. Wouldn't you agree, Fumi? And Fumi just kind of looks to him and slowly looks to all of you, like her air quotes looks. Her head just kind of slowly turns to all of you. Right. Well,
I point to Graha. I believe you owe my friend something.
look at the time, and he just very quickly begins to speed walk away.
Sir will speed walk in his direction.
I dash after him
No.
and tackle him to the ground.
Well,
I
Make
was
a-
not trying not to make it too
We're
much of a
already out in
scene,
the
but
open. We're already out in the open where we're not supposed to be.
yeah. Honestly, if a scholar of Charlotte, if like one of the forum members
Yeah.
sees us do that, they're probably popping off.
they don't care. It's the end of the world.
There's also no forum members outside anymore.
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
Velvy, go ahead and make a dexterity check. As you dash after them.
Just kind of walked up to one and was like, "Hey, we're here and we're staying with the science." And a dex check, really?
Yeah, because he's also running and he's trying to avoid y'all.
No, I guess that's true.
I
He's trying to get away.
mean,
Just to see what
I would.
okay,
I
I guess the
think-
dice are like.
you
I guess
fucking tied him. What? All right, roll again.
Ooh.
That rat bastard.
That was a nat
Rock,
20
paper,
though.
scissors, shoot.
Yeah, but
was
it's a
a
dexterity check though, or it's a skill check, and skill checks don't auto succeed on 20s.
True.
So
Shit.
you go running after him, but he's already gotten a little bit of distance ahead of you, so you're not able to quite make up distance. But both him and Velvy are just running off.
Oh dear.
As Adwin's just kind of watching them dip out and fucking turns to Fumi and she's like, "All right, well, I don't know if you want us to stay around or, I mean, we do have a couple of things on our agenda, but if there's something that needs to get done, just tell us. We'll come running."
If you have things you need to do, it's best that you get them done and quickly. We don't know how much time we have left.
Well, if there's anything that needs to be, if you need anything that needs to be fought, or if there's anything on the home side that you hear, let us know and we can go take care of it. If you guys obviously have a lot of things to do around here.
She nods and says, "Don't worry. I have a feeling in the coming days we'll have need of you and yours a lot more."
Okay. Well, once Velvy's done chasing him around, then we'll get on our way.
I can't picture anything but the that's you and Grod just running around chilling.
I guess Star will just like rest back with the group and watch them as they whip by every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, actually, if Velvy does come within 60 feet, Adwin will just cast haste on her.
Oh,
or 30 feet, I guess, because
No.
haste only has a 30-foot range. But yeah, she'll cast
Going
haste on
over
Belly.
to
Oh, yeah.
Umi. Is he always this
Evasive?
evasive as to handing out his link shell? I just wanted to stay in contact with you all, and he is very against it.
Yeah, he clearly has a grudge against Arnalder since he showed up and helped us.
But he wishes not to keep contact.
Her brow kind of froze a moment, and she says, "You know, I don't really understand why he wouldn't.
Does he not have one?
He does have one.
It's not like we're trying to call him up to talk to him every 2 seconds or to.
I mean, I might start sending him tells at random times of the day with random questions at this point.
I mean, we do need some answers about other stuff, but there's just not much that we can really think of at the moment that's pressing enough.
And as you say that, you see Graha come running by and Velvy chasing back up the stairs after him.
If she wasn't hasted at this point, she is now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling you. So
Yeah. She's like, wait. She's gonna
Meet.
cast haste.
me.
Point out, this is a really awkward situation because it's the bunny chasing the cat, not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's a really funny scenario, and both you and Graha get some really strange looks from the citizenry as you're chasing him around. But as Adwin casts haste on you, and you just begin to take off, he doesn't have more speed than you.
You guys go.
So, yeah.
I will literally tackle him to the ground
Yeah.
and then carry him over to Star.
Go ahead and just because I know you're gonna win, but I want it to be hilarious. Go ahead and make an athletics check to grapple him.
I mean, I don't
You
know.
you do have advantage because of your arm. I should remind you. Your arm
Wait.
gives you advantage on strength athletics checks made to grapple.
Oh.
Did you not remember that? It's in your sheet under the Magitech.
It is in my sheet. And, oh my god, I guess the
There we
dice
go.
want me to succeed tonight.
You just dressed him up like a Thanksgiving turkey and dragged him back.
Oh yeah. As he's running, he's like about to get to the other side of the platform to some more stairs that descend down, and he makes a sharp turn to try and jump over the edge to actually completely lose you. But right as he jumps and thinks he's free, you just reach out one hand, grab him by the collar, and yank him back.
Like
You just-
a mama cat grabbing the kittens by the scruff.
You've just got him like kind of. How tall are you, by the way?
She's not very tall.
Well, neither is he. So.
Yeah, I mean, a short Vieira is much taller than a
Yeah.
not like than an average height Mikote.
He's shorter than Fumi. I've done the scaling.
She's about as short as a Vieira can be.
Yeah, you.
Which is still a lot taller than.
Yeah.
Taller that
Yeah, you're
You
still
got
probably at
him-
least a head over him.
Yeah, you've got him by the scruff of his collar and are just holding him like a good 4 or 5 inches off the ground. He's just kind of hanging in your arms.
Now, all I want is an answer. Why do you seem to not want to give my friend your link shell?
If he can recognize a fangirl when he sees one.
I mean, maybe.
That would be fourth wall breaking, and I'm not sure Raha has that power.
Not anymore. Maybe if he was still attached to the crystal tower. Oh, hang on. Oh, my chair. My chair. Okay. He asked for a moment because I have to go open my window. One sec.
It's just another tactic to escape.
What the fuck? Why is Usopp part of Kiss now? They released a bunch of like concept arts for the Straw Hats for an upcoming movie, and
God.
they just made Usopp part of Kiss.
Oh boy. So, he says, well, since you seem to have me by the scruff, suppose I can't really avoid giving it over at this point, huh?
No.
Reason as to why would be nice.
If it's really such a terrible idea giving out your link shell,
Kind of looks up at all of you for a moment and says, admittedly, I was afraid Arnaldur might still be around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It wasn't that I didn't want to give it to you. It's that I didn't know if he might use you to somehow gain it himself.
You know what? Honestly, that makes sense.
Starface palms. That really does make a lot of sense, actually.
I'll set him down. And do the awkward, like, smoothing out of his clothes.
I mean, early on, I had my own suspicions of, like, you know, the seats here, who we swapped with, fucking...
Oh,
Can't
that
remember her
actually
title.
reminds
Oh my
me.
God.
Fumi speaks up. It has been a while, but wanting to keep you in the loop, the Sultana is safe. She has reclaimed her place in Ulda and is helping to oversee operations there.
Oh, thank goodness.
Surprisingly, Lorito seems amenable to the situation.
That's good.
All you had to do was tell us. We would have punched him in the nose again.
Again.
Again?
Wait,
We
didn't
don't
punch him
talk
in the
about
throat?
that.
Oh yeah, wait, no, we.
Oh no, yeah, y'all did. Y'all also
I
considered
remember
putting him
now.
inside of a bag of holding for a moment,
Yep.
which
We
would
considered
have
murder.
killed him.
I think that was Josh?
Yeah.
But that would have killed him because that's a
Yeah.
vacuous area that has no
I've
oxygen.
heard of people putting them in bags of holding and then closing it up around their neck with a rope
Yeah,
softly.
if you leave
so
their
they
head
can breathe.
outside, then they can breathe. But if you just stuff their whole body in there, no, they can't breathe.
Yep.
You're basically throwing them into space when you put them in there.
Murder!
Same with the portable hole, by the way. If you close up a portable hole, there's no oxygen in there to breathe. So.
Good to know.
But he pulls from his pocket his link shell and offers it to the party, whoever wants to take it. I'm gonna laugh if it's Aidwin.
I'll take it. It's fine.
No, yeah,
Unless
he
you
makes
really
a good
want
point. No, he makes a good point.
I mean, again, I would laugh if you took it. It'd be so fucking hilarious. The one person he didn't want to have it be like, yeah, no, that's mine now. Alright.
Okay.
So, You now have Graha's link shell through a series of hilarious events.
And a Scooby-Doo like Jay's around.
Yes.
Alright, we have things to definitely do. Actually, unless there's things you guys want to do here.
No, but I need to ask, because I don't know how stuff works. I need to ask Joyful Ginger a question, unless some of you all know the answer.
I mean, they
What's
might.
the question?
Maybe.
If is our pocket dimension tied to a specific planet?
Y'all have that is actually a question that I will confirm. Y'all would have no idea. Ginger Ginger explained
So, like-
it as her creating a dimension to house your mansion.
If this planet blows up, does it affect our pocket dimension?
That's
That's morbid.
something to talk about to her.
And Shaded, I need to talk to you about the description of a very particular person for Legend Lore.
Alrighty. Sounds like a plan.
Well,
Oh, and also we need to interrogate the hat.
yes. And with that, just the last bit of this cutscene that I'm finally going to get to now. I'm going to force it upon y'all. Y'shtola speaks up and says, were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both. Speaking to Alphino and Alize, Estinian speaks up and says, bold words call for bold action, and there will be no turning to your father should plans go awry. Alize speaks up, as if I would ever. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for the star, we have to do what we can to help them. Thancred speaks up and says, rather boisterously as well. He says, and if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. And he looks over at the Warrior of Light and he says, wouldn't you agree? Having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks. Alphino nods and says, shall we then? To the annex to prepare for tomorrow. And they all begin to walk off. If y'all want to join him, you can. Or, whatever.
Are we joining them?
Up to everybody else.
Mm.
I think we have our own stuff to do, so we could probably just take off from here.
It's true.
How much more scenes did you transcribe? Do you need us to stay?
No. I didn't transcribe any more cutscenes. You don't have to worry.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, transcribing
before
those
they start
cutscenes took me
all-
like 2 hours.
I think that before they all walk off, I think Aiden will just be like, well, you guys get some rest and whatnot. We're gonna head off and get some information of our own stuff done. And again, if something arises, don't hesitate to call us and let us know and how we can be of help.
They all nod, and Graha looks back at you and says, and don't you be afraid to call for our help should you require it as well.
We did.
Well, now that we can, Star will tease.
Velvy's gonna
Go ahead.
go over to Alize, pat her on the top of the head because she can. It's easy because Alize is short.
Yeah.
Probably gonna glare at you.
Say,
Shrimp.
I like your attitude. Were things different, you'd have made a good gunbreaker.
Well, were things different, I may not be alive to be a gunbreaker.
Well, if you're ever looking for a dance partner on the battlefield, I'll be around.
I shall keep you in mind.
Good to know. And
She
then
would
turns
make a
to the
pretty
group.
good gunbreaker. I'm not even gonna lie. I just thought about that.
What if she was a gunbreaker? I don't
The
know if I
half,
can handle Alize with a fucking gun.
half point gunbreaker.
Look,
Oh,
there's a reason they made Alphino the sage and not LSA, okay?
Like, she's already very
She'd
shoot
be like,
first,
"Get the
ask
fuck
questions
up!
later.
I'm not here to keep you alive."
You see these
No.
guns? They're made for gunning, not you.
wow.
No,
See, they made Alphino the sage because Alphino's the one that's got the temperament for it.
Exactly. As I said, Alize would be like, you see these guns? They're for gunning, not you.
They don't even qualify as guns.
Alize
They're-
would think
Pew
they are.
pew lasers.
They're floating laser things.
They're little pew
It's
pews.
very true. Alright. So where are y'all headed?
I guess just back to the pocket dimension and then to
Yeah.
and then to Ginger's.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm
assume-
actually gonna take Shade to the safety zone, so we can get that name we need of the mistress, and so we can prepare for her summoning.
True. And I guess I'll probably also need to be there since we don't want to waste so much money on like a true resurrection stuff when I can literally just cast it for free.
Alright. So are you going to Ginger's first, or are you going to do that first?
Let's go to the house because we can just be in the house as long as we want to be.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you
I
can
mean,
be
I
in
don't
Ginger's as
mind-
long as you want as well.
I mean, yeah, but
And I don't mind splitting up. Like, you go ask Ginger what you need and then come back, and we'll be
Yeah.
legend
I know-
loring that name.
yeah. I know there was, and I know Kryn wanted to ask her some questions and whatnot, and
yeah, I only need a couple of minutes with Ginger.
okay, so yeah, let's just go to the house then.
Alright.
Alright.
So,
I'm gonna go straight to Ginger's.
alrighty. So going to the house, opening the portal, and heading to Ginger's. Those of you that do, the first thing that you see upon entering Ginger's is that your portal, for the first time, is the only one active. Ginger is also, though normally she is sitting upon her rather lavish throne, is nowhere to be seen.
Son of a monkey. Do I see a pathway that goes to a back office or anything?
You look around and all you see are just rows and rows and rows of various equipments and different accoutrements. You do not see any real actual walls to this place. It just kind of extends seemingly into infinity.
Is there a bell at the desk where the customer service thing is? There a service bell?
There is not.
Yell out for Ginger.
You call out, and a couple of minutes go by. About 2 or 3 minutes go by before there's just this puff of smoke on the throne, and you see Ginger kind of like very tiredly kind of like laying there in the throne, and she seems quite exhausted. She kind of looks down.
Ginger, I apologize. I only have one simple question. With the end of days coming and this world about to end because the star it circles is about to end, our pocket dimension, is it tied to this world? Will it disappear if this world disappears?
She thinks for a moment and kind of shakes her head and says, "It shouldn't, no. The magic that created your dimension was not dependent on any one particular star."
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure we were going to have a place to live if the world went.
She nods.
That's all. And so your store will be fine too, right? So we can still come here and shop.
Oh, of course.
Perfect. As long as we're all safe, I'm good. I mean, I'll do my best to stop it from happening if I can, but
Of course.
all right, thank you. And then I pull out my key to home and jump home.
Well, you can just walk back through the portal and take you right back.
Oh,
So,
walk back to the portal then.
and the benefit is you get your scroll back, so that way you can use it again.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it is technically it's a small thing, but technically speaking, you do have to leave through the portal to get the scroll back. Otherwise, the portal just stays there.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Go
Although
back
technically
through-
only y'all can go through it. So yeah. All right. Back to the house. Where are y'all casting legend lore?
In the safety cellar.
Oh, you're going into the cellar?
Yeah, the safety cellar.
Okay.
Now, to also keep in mind, I don't know if I've been approved to go into that part yet.
Oh, are you talking about the backpack, or are you talking about the crypt?
Yeah.
Oh, the backpack. I see.
It's not actually a cellar.
Yeah, it's
It's
just the back
a
of it.
room.
I was
Yeah.
just calling it a thing, guys.
Yeah, it's
You
okay.
need to get so picky.
No, but it's funny sometimes. Maybe I don't know. There's also only one real way to tell if you can actually get back there. So
I just realized if it's been the sarcophagi and stuff back there, or no, that's not the sarcophagi. This
No.
is the lava room with the.
that's the throne
Yes.
room, the most defensible room in the entire place, according to Genshin. But there's only one way to see if you're allowed back there.
Try to see if the prismatic wall will let me through and not kill me.
All right, so you raise one hand and, with gritted teeth, push forward and pass through the barrier unharmed.
I was about to say, and die a horrible screaming death of agony.
Yeah, no. So I need 7 consecutive saves from you. So
Should we?
Oh
Should we be letting what's her face out of the crystal in the dungeon while we're here?
that's a good question. By the way, as a reminder, because I just remembered that y'all probably don't remember me stating this. However, the stairs going up, the sign that was saying that there's still work in progress, still says there's work in progress. However, it does state that some of the upper floors are now available for exploration.
Star will make a note of that, but there is important
Correct.
shit to be done.
We don't have to actually let her loose in the dungeon. We can let her loose anywhere and just will her to the dungeon.
She does get a save, however.
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
we can let her out there first and then make our decision if we want her wandering.
Yeah, I would say let's put her in the fucking slammer first and
Alright.
let her and we'll, question her saying that there's not a way out of there. But if she wants one, then it's not that difficult.
I guess I will ask Shade to help with this kind of in any manner or way. But we're gonna release her in a cage, I guess.
All right.
This one has a bed.
Yeah, a few of them do. And by a few, I mean literally only 2 of them. Well, no, the 2 up there, they have beds,
They
but I
just
think
don't
those
have
are
breast beds.
yeah, they're just regular beds. There's like 4 beds. The rest are like, fuck you. Pulling the crystal out and placing in the cell as you focus on releasing the captive Josephina. The crystal itself explodes outwards. I need Star Star and Adwin to give me dexterity saving throws with advantage, because you do have a bunch of bars in the way.
That's a good thing.
Oh, a
I
saving
think
throw.
before
Oops.
that.
Whatever.
Yeah, saving
Save
throw.
diff.
21.
Yeah. Thankfully, the bars managed to block the vast majority of them that might have otherwise hit you, and neither of you suffer any ill effects from them. There are a few that spray out from the cell itself, but
I don't
Oh,
need
the
any more
crystalline
shard
shards.
piercings. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
are you sure? I think your back might still be healing, actually.
I actually don't know. We have not paid attention to that.
Who knows? But as it's released, the aether that was trapped inside begins to once more coalesce into the form of Josephina, who, as she reforms in the cell, she does not have her weapon.
Okay, perfect.
She kind of looks around for a moment, rather frantically, and kind of looks down at her hands for a moment and seems confused.
Oh, at least she seems there. Hi, Josephina.
Are you alright?
She looks up to both of you and make an insight check. One or both of you, know, whoever. I don't care. 27.
5.
27.
27 and 27, alright. She does not seem to recognize either of you.
Yeah, no. Whatever she was under, she's not under anymore.
Could be
I'm
faking it.
Astaria. Introduce yourself.
Adwin. I'm Brian.
I'm a
Actually,
little
you
bit.
two have a lot to talk about, and she'll like pull you forward a little.
Her eyes kind of narrow at both of you, and she takes a few steps backwards as you sort of pull Adwin in closer, and she kind of takes a few steps backwards into the cell, away from it.
Testing. Okay.
Hi.
I'm sorry, my mic went out again. Sorry.
Well,
You're good.
So, there's a couple things that we want to talk to you about, and you might not remember them from the looks of it. You met us not too long ago. We were engaged in a fight with Arnalder, and he summoned you to help him. And it seemed like you were tempered, but we don't know to what extent. Hopefully you can talk and we can try to figure out what we can do about him.
Oh, that's very large.
Ooh,
Uh,
Titan lady.
oh wow, that's
That's
normally medium size. All right. Okay. Where are y'all's dimensions? Hang on. Okay, yeah, no, that's the correct size. Okay.
Her photo just small.
Yeah.
We are just shrimp people.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
She does not seem to respond. She's just staring at all three of you. Oh, well,
And
technically all four, because Shade's also there.
Can you speak?
Here, let's move Shade up there. There we go. She does not respond.
And she can sit here and think as she wishes. There is not a way out, so I wouldn't bother trying. We have other things we really must attend to.
We want to give you a fair shake. We want to help you. Just
We
take some time.
definitely don't want to hurt you.
And she'll kind of give her a little, like a warm smile as she goes and starts walking with Star and Shade to go and prepare for the ritual.
Summon the mistress.
Alright. With that, we are going to take a quick 5-minute break because I
Woo-woo.
have to pee. So we'll be right back. Alright, so getting back into it. As you begin to descend into the crypts, correct? Or are you just going to a different area of the first floor?
No, I thought we were
No,
just
we're
going
just
to the
going
the
to
throne
the
room.
throne room.
Oh, the throne room. Okay. Two of you hadn't moved, and I'm stupid and didn't really look. So
I did move away from.
I said
Yeah.
two of you did.
Shut up.
Sorry, I moved.
Yeah, two
Oh.
of you did.
I forgot to
Okay.
move.
And Shade like never moves his
Fair
character,
enough.
so I'll move him for him. So entering into the throne room, there's a new feeling that washes over all of you as you enter. This feeling of strength and power that none of you have felt before. It's not innate. It's not like a spellcaster calling a spell or a gunbreaker using their elemental burst or anything like that. It's very much of a magical nature and of a foreign nature. It's not something that is innate within you. But you can feel this power extending out through this room towards both of the fonts of lava that just kind of bubble over, and the lava as it falls and hits the ground seems to like immediately solidify and then dissipate as more lava falls onto it and sort of eats away very rapidly at the dried lava underneath it before very quickly drying itself and just kind of repeating this process in a never-ending loop. You can feel your power also extending out to the several statues within the room, all of them housing some form of semblance of life, semblance of being within them, though nothing more than just magical constructs in nature. You can also feel your power extending to this singular large carpet that takes up the majority of the center of this room, and you can feel this. It's this power that flows from the carpet and into you. It's unknown. You can't quite make out the exact details of it, but it is by far the strongest source of power within this room. And the final source of power that you can feel is from each of the thrones, each of you feeling a different one, with Aedwin, of course, being the center. But from each of these thrones, you can feel this power that is now coursing through you while you are in this room. For you, Aedwin, it's a very familiar feeling. It's this power that's like coursing quite literally through your veins themselves, or at least that's how it feels. For the rest of you, it's a completely foreign feeling. But it's not a bad one. It's one that is empowering and uplifting.
Kind of just get used to this feeling.
All right. So we have so much to do.
Indeed. What did you have in mind? I'll follow your lead.
Well, I'm gonna need you to use legend lore, and I'll give you a description of her.
Of
You
the
need her
dragon
name.
or the mistress?
A mistress. We already have the
Okay.
dragon.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure. That's all. All right.
And using that, we'll use True Resurrection to bring her back in the body she wanted.
Okay, then. Okay, so let's see. Loading. So
Savoring,
you give
savoring?
Shade.
Nothing. Go ahead.
But yeah, she'll give as detailed a description as she can of what the mistress looks like.
Easy enough to do. All right. So you go ahead and you cast Legend Lore, specifically seeking out her name, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as you reach out and begin to describe this individual who you yourself have never met before, but as it's being described, she describes this almost plant-like humanoid whose body itself seemed to be comprised of plant matter, essentially, with her entire outer body seeming to be that of leaves of a tree. It's a very almost natural, nature-based form in its purest sense. And outside of elementals, you've never heard of anything quite like this creature as she's described to you. But as you focus on it and release the power of the spell, the knowledge you get back is a name significantly easier to pronounce than a dragon's name, and that is Isolde, which I will...
Isolde.
Yes, I will put in the Discord. That's how you spell it.
Thank you. Isolde. Okay.
The name does sound a little familiar. So maybe we did get her name at some point and we just never wrote it down.
Oh no, I can guarantee you didn't get her plant-based name.
Ah.
Yeah, that one I know for a fact I never gave to y'all because that is something that she would never willingly reveal.
Okay.
Is there anything we should prepare in case?
Well, I guess it would depend if we're bringing her back in this form. Potentially familiar surroundings would be more appropriate.
Let us do her resurrection over in the garden.
Why?
Because she might feel more comfortable in the garden instead of surrounded by lava.
You do remember that she was burned to cinders by Aedwin.
Yeah.
That's...
It's a pretty good reason not to be around lava.
You know,
my
my
thought
bad.
processes of in here was the safety and her inability to get very far without us, but in here does sound better.
Yeah. Like half of my fucking screen.
Yeah, the map's really fucking big because y'all got a massive fucking house.
Yeah. Ginger loves is us.
Yeah.
Didn't you want the swiggity swoo?
Yeah.
With not just one of us either.
Mainly one of us.
Well,
Mainly. Anywho, okay, this
Yeah.
seems like a great spot.
So, the only questions I have left is who is casting it? What spell? I mean, I know what spell you're casting, but for posterity's sake, which spell are you casting? And what
Sword.
name are you speaking when you cast the spell?
Well,
So-
I know 2 of us have the spell, but one of us has it on materia.
Yeah,
Correct.
so I'm gonna have. So Adwin is going to channel up the True Resurrection, and with. Are we keeping like the dryad-y form in mind for her then?
I
that
would
was
try to take what we saw.
Okay.
To clarify, with True Resurrection, if you do not have a body, the spell can provide one. If the original no longer exists, which
Yeah.
it most certainly does not exist. In which case,
Okay.
you speak the creature's name, and from their name, the creature then appears in an unoccupied space you choose within 10 feet of you.
Okay,
So
they can.
it'll
They
provide
can
the
pick
body
that.
she wishes as it.
It
Okay,
will
cool.
provide her with a new body, is what the spell describes.
Is there a way to make it so that the soul can choose a body that they wish it to be?
Maybe?
Okay. How would we go
Hmm.
about altering it that
Modifying.
way?
Make an Arcana check.
I'll help. So roll advantage.
Alright.
Um.
I'm surprised you didn't just choose to also roll yourself, Star, since you have advantage yourself.
I accidentally backed out
Uh.
and came back in, so everything is still loading.
Fair.
I got a
Nice.
19 though, so it's not bad. So
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
I really gotta.
So
just
you
get
definitely
Arcana.
know that whatever spell y'all cast to send Arnalder, your father, and Nia away was not a standard spell. It was not one that could be cast by a singular person. However, because of how much ether was being dumped into it, it was possessed of far greater power than a normal planar shift spell. And also thereby making it far more powerful than even a 9th level spell.
So perhaps if we feed this spell more, it might too be able to allow her to choose her form.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable to think, yeah.
I'm sorry, Graz, we're about to carve into you.
I'm sure the
Adwin
grass.
just kind of thinks about it. It's like, well, if we are able to make that plane shift to send everybody to send Arnalder and Dad and Nia away, so strong, but with all of our with a bunch of help, maybe the same thing would work this time too.
Exactly what I was thinking.
It's almost like we discussed it out of character.
I was actually speaking in character, so
Oh,
Star feels a wee bit like ignored.
no, okay. To be fair, he was explaining that like out of character, so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well,
No, it's fine. I totally get all of you. Yeah.
yeah. Star.
Great
Okay, so
minds
Star
think
would have.
alike.
Well, Star was the one. Star was the one who assisted me, so I'll let her statement be the one that
Okay.
stands.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
I don't see why not. It worked before, so maybe it would work. It would probably. Though I guess this is quite a higher level thing. Though if we are beckoning this, maybe well, if we're beckoning a soul back from the dead,
Star's
maybe-
gonna crack that book open we have from the mistress.
yeah.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Perhaps the help we need is in here.
What languages do you know, Star?
Lalafelian in Vienna, but I can cast comprehend.
Okay.
Car knows them all.
So you cast comprehend languages. So that way
Yeah.
you can simply know. Well,
Jesus.
just so you know,
Oh.
to translate one page of text, it does require a minute per page.
Yes, I
Uh,
have translated, I believe, the first. Was it the first 10 pages or just the first page?
Y'all didn't spend a lot of time reading
Yeah,
it
no,
over
you gave.
before,
I think we
so-
did the first page.
Yeah, you managed to do the first page, or you managed to do. It wasn't the first page, but it was one page of the book, and you managed to learn from that one page that it's the entire book itself based off of that script, because you didn't read the first page. It was you were looking at the page that she was on, and judging by the way that the way the spells written on that page and your knowledge of how spells work, this seemed like some points in an enormous spell, and from that you assumed that more than likely this entire book is just one giant spell.
Mhm. I mean, we could just try it our way, or we can dig through this.
Well, let's see let's see who can read it if it's gonna take a really long time with the spell.
I'm just gonna glance over at the book. What language is it written in? Can I recognize it?
What languages do you know?
I know Common, Rogadin, Garlean.
Right. Out of curiosity, because I'm not too familiar with the White Mage, do you have any like class feature or anything that like lets you know or anything like that? I'm just asking because of the way you worded the question. That's all.
What lets me know what though exactly?
Like,
What
because
language?
yeah, because it was just the way you worded it. It seemed like maybe there is a like, at least that you were
I'm
like,
sorry.
Maybe you have like scholar or something.
yeah. Because if so, like that's totally fine. But if not, I'm just trying to.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to word it like
okay.
that. I'm just,
No,
the
you're
three
fine.
languages I know, is any of them in that book? And if not,
Yeah. So what are the three that you know? Sorry.
Common, Rogadin, and Garlean.
Common, Roganin, and wow, you know Garlean. Wow. I'm not entirely surprised that Velvy knows it, but
Know thy enemy is quite common.
I wasn't allowed any languages. I had to fight for Lalafellian.
yeah, I made you fight for that. Unjustly so.
Lala was my father, and you made me fight for it.
Yeah, I know. Unjustly so. But
to be fair, I also took a linguist, so.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I got mine for Prodigy.
So. Both Velvy and Shade can read this text as Garlean.
Oh.
No shit.
Ooh.
No
Why is
shot.
Why would that be written in Garlean, I wonder?
That's a really good question.
Indeed,
Especially considering Garleans don't generally have the ability to manipulate Aether.
Maybe that's precisely why the language is used. It's certainly not a common language in these parts.
That's true. Maybe
Are
she
you
just
guys
did it
gonna help us search through this then?
I would be more than happy to.
Yeah.
Please,
I'll help.
Alright. Opening the book to the first few pages, what you learn from those is the entire book isn't one spell. The first few pages seem to describe what this book is for and the contents therein. It tells you that this book is written by it's a little tricky to translate. The characters used in the word aren't typical for Garlean script, though each of the characters themselves are written in Garlean script.
Wait a
It
second.
almost feels more like the name is describing something rather than being an actual name. And it's not really any words necessarily that you can use to describe it. It's hard to really. It's difficult to describe, really. It's more like a feeling that you get as you read the letters, or read the characters, rather than an actual name that you're reading. However, it does state that it was written well before the time of the Garlean Empire. It states that verbatim.
Oh, out of character. I'm. Okay. Okay, I'm done.
It then goes to describe the complexity of the spell contained within. That the spell was used specifically against what would be known as the Garleans, to ensure they were never again a threat. And from there, it goes on to begin to read out into the spell.
Looking at the first few pages of the actual spell, can I ascertain what the spell might have done?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same if that's alright.
Yeah, go for it.
On dirty 24.
Still pretty good, though.
I mean, yeah, it's a natural 19.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't roll as high.
Yeah, unfortunately, Shade, a lot of your studies weren't necessarily dedicated to Garlean history.
Yeah, no, I literally learned the language and
Yeah. But for you, Velvy, being a gunbreaker, you've dealt with Garleans quite a bit yourself. Knowing what you know about the Garleans, and as you read through this spell, the spell seems like a transmutation spell. The way the inscriptions and words are written out give, or rather hint at, this spell turning the Garleans from whatever they were into what they are now. You're not entirely sure exactly how the transmutation effect occurred based off just the few first pages. But whatever it was, definitely, more than likely, was not pleasant.
The writer of the spell, the person who used it, I don't quite know what the Garleans were before the spell, but its purpose and its effect was to change them. It didn't seem like the mage responsible for writing the spell really cared about their well-being either.
yes, but how did it change them? What were they like before?
I mean,
She was a dragon.
we're not even referring to the mistress at this point. We're referring to Garleans and, like... I'm referring to the
I'm
Garlean.
sorry, I was referring to the person writing this.
It wasn't written by the mistress.
Mm-mm.
It couldn't have been. It's too old.
She might have owned the book. She might have
This-
owned the book, but I do not think this was penned by her hand.
We'll know once we can actually raise her and ask, I
That,
guess.
well, knowing the purpose of the spell, we know why she had it. If your current beliefs about her are correct and she wanted to change form, this spell would do it on a level that is far more powerful than, well, any spell a single spellcaster would be able to cast, necessarily.
Hmm.
Then perhaps we put it aside and we just power up the resurrection spell ourselves.
Mm-hmm. This way, even if this way we can just resurrect her and she'll be in the body that she wants to be, and she won't ever have to turn into a big old dragon ever again because it's not what she would want. It
Mhm.
wouldn't be part of her anymore.
But we definitely should ask her about this book.
Definitely.
You make it sound like this individual will be willing to talk to us after we resurrect her, when are you not the ones who destroyed her to begin with?
That's a small thing.
He gave us no choice. She
And
was
you think
killing.
that, and how
I'd
do you
like
think
to put out there our past party mates wanted to punch her to death. I did not want to.
Very true.
She was taking the life of innocent individuals. We could not allow that to stand. If she is of reasonable temperament in this new form, she will understand.
Jade, make a history check for me real quick, actually.
Alrighty.
Because it just occurred to me that a lot of your time was spent in Gridania
Mm-hmm.
and the 12's Wood.
Normal roll?
History.
I mean, like, normal or advanced?
Oh, yeah, normal.
Flatter.
18. At the mention of this, you actually do recall, it was probably almost a year, maybe more ago at this point. The Amdabor Keep that was in the South Shroud was posing a lot of trouble for the Seedseer and the Twin Adders. They'd sent many Twin Adder soldiers there, but none of them ever returned. And then, seemingly, almost out of nowhere, the entire situation was just resolved. The details of which were never really disclosed. It was just like, one day they had this issue, and then all of a sudden, they just weren't concerned with it anymore.
Excuse me.
Okay,
No.
I'm not entirely sure how this pertains to what this,
I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, okay, I'll bring it up. But, I'll say this little piece of history, the time matches or whatever.
Yeah.
And
All of you know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That was about when we were there and
Yeah.
took care of everything.
so this I just heard about it from being in the 12th Wood. I didn't know that it was you who had, well, taken care of things at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
just real quick before you say that, sorry, because I don't know what you're saying, but just for shade, real quick, I'll pretty much confirm that your character is wise enough to kind of put two and two together that this mistress was probably that same threat.
Yeah.
Just that it's
Okay.
confirmed. Go ahead, Star.
I know you are unsure about what we are doing, and that yes, she may not want to help us, but I want to help her because I failed her back in that last encounter.
Very possible that she may just immediately turn on you. This just does not feel to me like it will turn out the way you want it to. As as much as you want to help. I
That
just
would be
have
why I'm here, then.
That's why all of us are
Harm-
here. I'm not worried about it.
No harm will come to anyone as long as I live. She says, slotting a munitions charge into Blade's resolve.
Just casually, one by one.
We're not really worried about it.
I just want to talk.
Yeah, we'll just talk to her, and if she doesn't want to talk, we'll do what we have to do it then.
Or even then, even if she doesn't want to, I mean, she doesn't. I mean, you're right. She owes us nothing. We were the ones who, hurt her. Though she did seem like she wanted to help us, help us get to the bottom of what was going on, despite her doing, bad things to innocent people.
But she was doing them trying to reach a goal.
Maybe we can find a way to help her achieve her goal without hurting people.
Her goal is this body. We're giving it to her. Don't you understand that?
Hmm.
From what I
Okay.
saw through those visions, she hated who she was before, and what she was doing was trying to get to this.
Hmm.
And then I stood there and I kept calling her a he, and I kept hurting her. The least I can do is this.
Hmm. Okay. Hopefully that is enough that will satisfy her and help her be happy and let her live her life.
Also, I
And
just
if she
want.
can
Go
if
ahead.
she can help us with some information along in exchange, that's great too.
I just want to say
But
real
even if she,
quick, Velvy, the picture I got is just like this father who has this revolver in his hand as this dude's taking out his daughter and he's just slowly slotting one bullet in after another, and it's just like, yeah, you gonna have her back at 10 o'clock sharp. I know that for a fact,
God damn
aren't
it.
you?
yeah, that's
Oh,
what I was
so-
that's what I was saying too.
Oh,
Wanna
so
talk.
like what I would be as a dad. Got
Yeah.
it.
Just want to talk.
Well, Star will extend a hand to our magical friends if they will join me
Hmm.
in overpowering this materia.
Yes, give the primal more ether. That's what she needs.
Oh yes.
Yep.
So much ether. Nom, 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 nom.
All right. Well, she is going to. Adwin will kind of untie her ribbon since that's where the revive materia is, and
Mhm.
she will grip it in her hand tight, and she'll just kind of look to Shade and Star and kind of either intend for them to or just get tired of waiting and then just kind of put their hands on her closed fist
Star will just do it for you.
I guess I'll help.
All right.
A lot of doubt here, but okay.
I know you're doubting, but thank you.
All right. And as we are going to focus, we are going to have the image in mind of when the soul when the spell releases and the soul returns to and finds a bot and conjures itself a new body to let the soul pick whatever shape that it wants. Whatever the soul
shape
wants.
El Solda wants her body.
Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay. Good music for this. Very good music. Oh yes. All right. So, as Star and Shade, I believe, begin to focus their aether towards you, and you begin to channel the magical energies of the materia, you focus and concentrate, and as the name Isolde forms in your mind's eye, that is all you allow to form, is just the name. And using just that, you release the energies of the true resurrection. And as you do, you can feel this aether from the other two beginning to fill into you and begin to get channeled through you and into the spell as you release it, seeming to just fuel the materia itself. The belt that houses it begins to glow, and that glow begins to brighten and brighten until it's simply white and nothing else. And as the aether flows from you and into the belts and through the materia and out in front of you, it begins to coalesce, forming like a speckled silhouette of a humanoid creature that slowly begins to solidify. And at first there are no features that are visible. It's just this mass of aether that begins to collect, and as more and more aether begins to get fueled into this body, the aether from around you, from around this place, begins to get pulled towards this body. And out in the distance, as all of this is happening, anyone above a 20 or anyone with a 20 or higher passive perception can see this detail. Adwin, your eyes are closed. You auto-fail.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're the catalyst for the spell. So.
Fair.
But you can see out in the distance, aether beginning to solidify into these long, or these like thin but elongated crystals of this like bluish whitish tint, and just beginning to form out in the distance, nowhere really near your house, but you can see it happening as this form begins to coalesce and the aether from the surrounding area begins to get pulled into it. And soon features begin to appear on it. A female form. Tall, slender, much taller than the creature known as the Mistress, the one that you saw. You can see forming afterwards these like long pointed ears, and soon the white brightness begins to fade and you can begin to make out skin and colorations of the form. A form that at first appears to be Ellison. She's as tall as one, as beautiful as one. But as the final features of the body begin to form, in the center of her forehead, you can see this tiny Garlean third eye. And as that coalesces into being, the body collapses to the ground, breathing.
Oh. Is it her?
Is she like just resurrected thing, like where she's like naked?
Oh yeah, no, she's completely naked and unconscious.
Right.
Valvi, get a blanket
As
or
bare as her
something.
name. Okay. Right.
Yeah, Velvy will pull
Cloak, please.
actually pull her cloak of protection off because it's not even attuned anymore. So, not currently doing anything for her.
Yeah, all it does is give her a new body, nothing else.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. It's fine.
The cloak of
Like I
protection.
said, as bare as her name's day.
Yep.
Like you stole her from the fucking...
Yep.
Alright, how about we find her something... Somebody run to my room and grab a nightgown. Please. Please.
I will think of a set of attire for her to be wearing. Since she's unconscious and can't think of a set of attire for herself.
Okay.
Since that's what we're all wearing when we're here anyway, is whatever we're thinking of.
It's true.
Well, that's because we're the owners of the thing. I don't think she can.
Right, which is why I'm thinking of something for her to wear.
You think, open one eye, nothing's changed. She's
Go
still-
get a nightgown from my room.
Yeah,
I'll go do that.
It was a good try, though.
Yeah, could have worked, maybe.
We should check over her and see if everything is working properly.
Exactly my thought.
All right, let's go ahead and make a medicine check.
Yep.
I'll give her a hand. Yeah, I thought that she really
She-
needs it because she's got Hattie. But
Yeah. So if you want to roll yourself, you can.
I doubt I'm going to get anything better than that. But why not? Wow, I got the
Hey,
same. Let's go.
You know, you weren't wrong, technically.
Yeah.
Looking her over, she appears to be on the brink of death. She is exhausted beyond measure, and she is not looking super healthy. She looks extremely malnourished and just not that in a great of a condition. I'll say, actually, since both of you got above a 20, She's not dying. That's not something you have to worry about.
Okay. You said she's like on the verge of dying. I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
she's on the verge of it. She
I'm
has
guessing it's very bad exhaustion.
5 points of exhaustion and is currently at 0 HP. So she is very close.
I will Greater Restoration away of exhaustion.
Okay.
And I
Make
will
sure you-
cast a heal.
Oh,
Thank you.
alrighty. What does heal do?
Also
70 hit points.
Okay. Also, make sure to mark off the diamond dust for the greater restoration.
No, it was materia.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Cool.
I will do this twice to get rid of 2 levels of exhaustion because I have enough points.
Alrighty.
I don't have any of that, so.
Alrighty. Well, with the heal spell and both the greater restoration, she's looking significantly healthier, but is still unconscious at the moment.
That's fine. We
Which
can
is
give her some
alright. I'd
time
rather
to
get her
sleep.
dressed so she doesn't wake up nude and freak out. Do I have good berries? Do you have good berries?
Do I?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes, I
I'll be
do.
right back.
She do.
I think I'm considering we make some, and when she wakes, we get her to have some so she can be full.
Yeah, something kind of light and not super heavy. Because then if she wakes up and wants like actual food, I mean we can feed her. But
Oh, actually,
Oh. I wonder if our simulacrum steward guys can cast good berry.
I was just thinking of them, and I was gonna get them to bring us like a little tub of water and a washcloth.
Mm-hmm. No, that too.
Little
That's
wet
good.
cloth to a forehead thing.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, that always hits. It always hits so good.
I know, right?
alright, that was not what I wanted to do.
You know, this is better music than I thought for that scene.
We are wondering, since I don't think you heard us.
No, I
do
heard
the-
all of it.
Okay. So, do the stewards have good berry?
Funnily enough, as you are thinking this, the stewards do indeed show up. Good berries in tow.
Wow.
Barrel,
how
a
about-
bucket of water and a cloth for me.
They do indeed have that as well.
Wonderful.
Actually, I should use my good berry just because mine actually heal more than just the one. 6 plus 7. Mine heal an additional 7 points of damage per berry. Each one is an 8-point berry.
Oh,
That's thanks to the white mage.
Hell yeah.
nice.
Well, when
There.
the nightgown gets here, I'll get somebody to help me dress her, and then I'll rest her head on my lap and wet a damp cloth to the forehead because it always feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough to do. I say easy enough. Her body is completely dead weight, so it's air quotes easy. But not really too much difficulty for your party.
I mean,
Yeah,
say
we have
this, but
strength character.
Yeah.
it's not like I don't have 22 strength.
Like
Yeah,
I said,
we have
not
strength
too much.
character.
Like I said, not too much difficulty for your party.
Yeah.
A little difficult because not all of your Herculean strength like Velvy over there, but you know.
What time of day is it? Have we done lunch? Should we all get lunch? Yeah, lunch brought in here. You can chill.
It's probably, at least on the material plane, it's probably around noonish.
Yeah.
Here, there's
We
not
definitely
really a
want food.
sense of time.
Let's just go food to have a picnic. Why not?
Yeah.
And I will say, given the length of time that y'all have spent here, Adwin, you would also eventually notice that those crystals are still kind of there, floating out in space.
Which ones?
The ones that formed while you were casting the spell.
Oh.
That everyone but you noticed.
I mean, how would she even know that crystals were there?
Yeah.
in the
But
first
you do
place? Yeah, it's
notice...
like, oh, hey, look, cool, some
Yeah.
crystals.
But they were not there before, is how you sort of notice them. It's like, those weren't there before.
What are those?
Hmm?
Those crystals.
Crystals where?
No, point them out. They formed while the spell was being cast. I'm unsure as to their function.
I just find
Oh,
it
like
really...
around the area? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Well, no, honestly, I find it really funny that Shade's pointing out into the distance for a blind person to try and see the crystals.
Over there!
Sarah's just looking around as if she can really
I was
perceive
unaware that
everything.
Star was actually blind because she's been getting around on her own pretty well.
Well, she used
Oh,
to have the
because
robe
her
of eyes.
blind... Yeah,
So-
robe of eyes. She's now wearing her blindfold from before, which lets her see more like Daredevil.
Yeah.
Well, this is still all very much news to Shade. Okay.
It's true,
Heads up
she
my
has
ass,
been
I
walking around
understand.
just
I put my
fine.
foot in my mouth.
Honestly, though,
apologize.
honestly, I forget too. That's why I was just like, wait, what do you mean she can't see them? And then it was just kind of like, I don't know, they're just some crystals. They weren't here before. Maybe they got there when I was casting the spell.
Perhaps.
Did you see them pop up, Shade?
Yeah, as I said, I just have no guess as to what their purpose nor their function is.
Hmm.
They occurred at the moment that we brought her to life.
Hmm.
Do you describe what they look like?
Sure, I will in as much detail as I can.
All right,
describe them.
Star, go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Ah.
Maybe we can identify them.
As they describe what those thin crystal-like platforms look like, you can't help but think back so very long ago at this point. It's that dream you had when Heidelin first contacted you. And the crystals that they're describing look, at least sound, almost identical to the ones you saw.
That's
Is
strange.
it just like the is it like the hexagon thing of it?
Well, it's like, it's... I don't want... it's like crystallized ether formed into a platform.
Okay.
That sounds
But-
a lot like crystals I saw when Heidelin first reached out.
Hmm. I wonder.
You wonder?
I just wonder what that's about. Hmm. Well, no use in standing around and trying to figure stuff out until she wakes up. Let's eat. As Adwin just kind of, her belly just grumbles. Primal belly gotta eat.
All right.
Yeah. We'll just hang out while she rests until she wakes up.
All right. There are also the additional floors that are now available.
I do want to
I'm
look
not
at
leaving her
those.
side.
Well, no, you
But I
don't
do want
always
to
have
see.
No.
Aiden might check that. Might check them out while they're talking to her, since maybe she doesn't want to see the person who fucking killed her.
I'll go with Aiden.
Really? You really think that it's all like that? Really?
Maybe.
Really? I don't know. What would ever give you that impression? Give me one sec. I forgot to upload all of these fucking maps because I'm smart.
I'll go with Aiden.
Drink
Oh.
break?
I'm loading that up.
Well, I have some of them. There are just a couple that I haven't uploaded. So, I'll say, given especially the current nature of Aedwin, as you begin to ascend the stairs, it's almost like a old PS1 loading area where you just kind of keep ascending and ascending, and it feels like you just keep on walking up, and it's just never ending until it does. And I'll just pull you all over. You and Kryn emerge here into what?
Tokens out.
Yeah, you can pull them out if you want.
Okay.
You emerge into what looks like a pantry. You can see. I didn't take the time to just put all the shelves in, but the entire wall is just filled with shelves, and the entire area is filled with crates that have all kinds of foodstuffs in them. I'm going to change the music because this is not suiting anymore. Go back to the cozy inn. There we go. So, yeah. What do y'all do?
Let's take a look around.
Alright.
Trying to find the doorway out.
Yeah. So, the door is right here. I forgot to mark any of them on this map. I apologize. The door is right here. This is another door. This one up here is also a door. As you move out and begin to explore this floor, you walk into this area and you can see several tables with numerous chairs pushed in, and all of them filled with plates and cutlery, all perfectly clean, but currently nothing on them. And 3 additional doors to the very south of the room.
So what, is this like a restaurant where the thing downstairs is like a breakfast nook?
Maybe. For those of you who want to get drinks, you can go and get drinks. Aedwin. So as you open that door up, you look in, and you as well, Kryn, you look in and you can see what looks like a relatively simple bathroom with a single latrine on the opposite corner, or opposite wall.
3 bathrooms, that's what those are.
Indeed, they are 3 bathrooms.
For male, female, and gender non-conforming.
Yeah.
And let's take a look in here then.
Yeah.
So there's also a door on this side here too. On this side or no?
No. There's only one door over here.
Okay.
Going in there, you find another kitchen.
Oh.
Seems like this floor is the primary hub for eating.
I think they expect us to do a lot more eating than we intend to do.
I mean, look, I can sit here and eat all day, but
One of us used to eat 17 portions.
No, we removed curse. I only need to eat
I said
5
one of us
portions.
used to.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, is there another staircase going up, or is it just like the same staircase that goes up, and it just
Nope.
stopped here also?
There's just this staircase, and there's also this doorway over here, technically.
Oh. Okay. Well,
We'll
if
take the
we-
doorway.
Yeah, let's try the doorway.
All right. Opening the door and moving into the next area, you walk in. Let me see if I can remember where I put the entrance to this place. Yes. You actually, because I want to be hilarious about this, Adrian, go ahead and give me a dexterity roll. Or dexterity check. Just because I want to be hilarious about this.
Okay.
A 9. Fantastic. It was a DC 10. You open the door and step forward to what you expect to be a floor, and it just goes tumbling down and faceplant right up here on the ground.
Ow! Let me grab my token out again.
Watching him just vanish.
Oh no, you see him. You see her fall down.
Yeah.
You see the whole
Vanish,
thing.
like, I mean, poof, gone. I come down the ladder carefully.
Alrighty. As you come down, you can see this looks like like another storage area, but it does not appear to have any food or anything like that. Kryn, you actually recognize the smell coming from this barrel right here as oil.
Run through the door.
You run through the door and into what you can only describe it to be the purest form of joy. An enormous laboratory.
Wow.
Start checking all the gadgets and doohickeys.
Go ahead and make an investigation check at advantage. You didn't need it, apparently. Looking over this lab as you check all the whatchamacallits and doohickeys and thingamajigs, it's a better lab than even in Ul'dah. This place has more equipment. The equipment seems to just be in masterwork condition. This appears to be like effectively like probably the best lab in the world. You know, if you were on the material plane. It's essentially everything you could ever imagine wanting or needing.
Ah, yes, it is the lab of Kryn's wet dreams.
Yes.
I
Ooh.
can make anything here. Check this room.
Yeah.
You go in there and you see bookshelf upon bookshelf filled with books.
Just grab
Off
one.
in the distance, we all suddenly hear a very quiet moaning through the floorboards. What's going on over there?
Oh,
Oh god, no.
that is forever recorded now.
Grabbing a random book to see what kind of books
Yeah.
are on these shelves. Is there
You
knowledge?
grab the book and begin rapidly flipping through it. And Adwin, you've never seen Kryn this happy. Her eyes are just like glued to this book, and she's reading like a robot. She's kind of like just flipping through these pages. This book seems to be a book for building things of various descript. It has all sorts of technical knowledge for like guns and bombs and various magitech equipment. And as you begin sorting through each of these books, all of these books have to do with crafting things and just making things.
Okay.
Some of these books you've actually read before in Severian's workshop.
Running across the hall, checking the rooms one by one to see what's in them.
Yeah. So that one appears to have a couple of cages, although nothing appears to be inside them. This area seems more for preservation of specimens.
Next room, just looking in.
More books.
Oh my god. Next room.
More storage.
And the last room.
The last one seems like a... almost like it's basically just taking everything from the rest of this floor and just combining it and condensing it down into one room. So it's like a miniaturized version of the lab.
A workroom for a private workroom.
Yeah.
All right. I go back to.
Nerdgasm.
I will be here a lot. But there's a door through the library here that goes to another room.
Yep.
Where's the door? I don't see it. Oh.
Right up there.
Up there, where I am.
Yeah. So going into this next room has another ladder up and appears to be yet more storage.
Yeah. If you guys can't find me on the first floor, this is where I am.
I just gotta... I forgot to name this floor after I uploaded the maps. Give me 1 second as I pull up the map so I can figure out what it's supposed to be called.
I don't know, a nerd's wet dream.
Yeah.
The gadgets I
Tools Incorporated. Oh, you might be able to make, invite Sid over. I'm sure he'd love to use some of this.
All
Well,
right.
I still have to create an arm for somebody to take to Ginger to get enchanted.
So, as you ascend the stairs, you come out here. There's no grid. Well, no, there is a grid, actually. I just never properly got it to work right. Don't worry about it. But you come out there to what looks like a meadow with a door all the way over here.
Well, this is kind of nice in here.
It is.
With that door, you're taken to an enormously long hallway with a door at the exact opposite end of the hall.
Oh. I see.
Yes, it's one of those hallways.
Uh-huh.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Who likes cryptic bullshit? This is their room.
So, I will say I didn't place the doors. That's how they were generated.
Okay, you just kept them there
You
because
could have
it's
just
funny.
gotten rid of the hallway.
I wanted the hallway there for posterity's sake. As you go into this next room, however,
It is funny.
it is funny. As you go into this next room, you can see 2 tables with several different scrolls and a couple books on them on either side. On one side, you can see a bunch of tables as well, circular tables with chairs around them. You can see a singular large fountain that's sort of spraying out water. On your side, you can see several what looks like enchanting tables, as well as several plots for herbs that are currently growing and in full bloom, as well as a number of currently rotating bookcases, all filled with books, as well as many bookcases along the walls that are also filled with books.
I wonder if this is somebody's particular room or if it's just a cool library.
I don't know. Do we have anybody who needs to do enchanting work?
Well, everybody that can use magic can technically do a little bit. Though,
Or maybe
I think if we need any enchanting done, we usually would just go to Ginger. Maybe it's just a way for us to ask her to do something for us when she's in the house.
maybe, or researching new spells.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Where y'all go next? The door out of this particular room is right over here, by the way.
Okay. And I'm guessing, yeah, and then there's the door
Yep.
over there.
Yep. Because I had to have a hallway.
Yeah, and it looks like the door out is this one.
No, that is a window. There's no other doors out, it seems. However, this room seems like... It feels like it would be a place of worship, but not necessarily for a deity.
Aha. So this is Shade's room then.
That's a really long ass narrow room.
There's also no beds in here.
I was about to say.
Or, oh yeah, I guess it could be stars too.
Star already has one.
Well, bedroom.
Might be a general purpose room.
Who knows?
For someone to worship gods.
No, it's not a place for worshiping gods. It is a place for worship, but not for gods.
The stars.
Who knows?
Look, we're stupid, okay?
That's true.
Love you
Don't
all.
look at Crin's 20. Don't look at Crin's massive intelligence stat. We're both stupid.
I'm stupid when
mean-
it comes to anything not tech.
I mean, there are a lot of rotating bookshelves with books on them.
Yeah, and
I mean, none of you have pulled them off to, like, look at them or anything.
okay, I'll go look at a book.
Okay. Shit. No. Wait. I'm sorry. I was trying to hit message, not call.
Like, I was gonna say, like, wait, what did I do?
I'm so sorry. I right click, it calls right under message. Alright, I'm sorry. Oh god, what were we on about?
Looking at a book on one of the shelves.
Right. Reading through the book appears to have pictures as well as descriptions and among other things that you don't necessarily quite understand yourself, but what you do understand...
Is it a Braille book? Because I just realized we still haven't taught Star how to read books.
It's true. But what you do notice, Adwin, is that all of the pictures are of constellations.
Oh. And she kind of closes the book, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. This is Star's room."
Oh, okay.
These are this book I was looking at was a bunch of constellations.
Yeah. I don't need the stars for what I do, so it must be her room.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, and there's nowhere else in here. I guess the rest of them must be under construction still.
would be a good bet. Oh, I need to find someone named Igor.
All right,
For no reason whatsoever.
so you head back through the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you head back through the door and begin to ascend a staircase. And when you exit that staircase, you do not find yourself back on the first floor. On the contrary, you find yourself coming out up here to another small-ish room. And apparently it didn't generate a door on the actual side of the hallway, so it's somewhere on that side. We'll say for posterity's sake it's right here, right across the door.
Okay.
Yeah. But going and exploring this floor, you find the primary feature of this floor is the enormous library, far larger than any of the previous ones.
Holy shit. And yeah, Edwin will go to a random bookshelf and pick off a random book and start flipping through it.
All right, flipping through it, it's a book on red magic.
And she will again close the book in the same fashion. She's like, Velvy's room.
Yes,
No,
of course, Velvy's.
This is my room.
But okay, so I'll grab a book from the stack I'm standing next to and open it. So it
Okay.
may not all be red magic.
True. You open this one, or you grab one book, and the title of the book is On the Properties of Combining White and Black Magic. And as you begin to read through it, it begins to talk about various theoretical applications of the combination of various whites and black magics into a singular spell to create both effects at the same time.
So red magic.
Yes.
Red,
Solid.
like extreme red magics.
Yeah. Not just like being able to cast both, but literally combining the two effects into a singular spell. All theoretical, though.
White mage can cast stone. Black mage can cast fire. Lava rock.
Lava rock.
Okay, maybe this is your room.
And I'm just waiting for all the. Though I guess Ginger would have no reason to know that I'm a primal.
I mean, she does like you.
She's been watching us as closely as she says she has. She wouldn't not know it.
Suppose that's true. Well, I will come through here later, and she'll also go and check down here wherever the door is.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere. You decide.
It's just right
Sure.
through there.
All right. You come into this room, and it's a singular, pretty long room, all things considered. But its really only defining feature is the one singular desk with a chair at it, with just a couple of scrolls on it.
I'm just gonna kind of eye the scrolls and see if there's anything interesting on them.
They are completely blank.
Okay, so this is just like a records or just kind of a personal study as well.
There is a lot of space.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, just so there's a lot of space. You know,
Alright.
if it's a study, good to have a lot of space.
Yeah.
That way you can bring all the books in.
I guess, yeah, or maybe
No,
some
it
kind
is
of a
yours and
practical.
Ginger's secret Smex room.
Oh God,
There we go.
I mean, there is this love couch way over here.
bruh!
Hmm?
Is it like just that heart couch mount thing, but together?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my.
Oh my!
Oh my.
Oh,
You know, sound gets lost through that many rooms, so
that's
safest
true.
place.
That's true. That's true. All right.
It was just gonna kind of kind of blush a little at that, and just like,
Anybody hear that surround that sound of distant clapping? That's not clapping. That's not clapping.
Oh.
Ace. Why?
mm.
Wah. All right. So, going through the exit, of which is somewhere in here that I need to apparently go and actually put in because this auto generation didn't like me. You go to the what is this? Third, fourth, fifth? The fifth and currently final room, which does have an intended entry point, of which you do not fall down because you are instead climbing up down here.
Okay,
I should put an entry point in this one.
maybe.
Climbing up down here.
Yes.
Them in no English.
Well, you're in a planar extra-dimensional space created by space magic, so...
Yeah, somehow the Garlean is capable of using space-time magic.
You know what? After everything that I've seen, I'm stopping questioning things.
I
There's
mean,
no point.
Ginger's
It's too
not a
much of a
guardian.
headache.
she said that the Garlean that Alphino was looking for is her.
She also did specify that the Garlean he was looking for was not a Garlean at all.
Ah. Never mind.
Yeah, Ginger's a row.
Yeah, she is a Rogadin. So, but continuing through the hallway, this looks far more decorated than any of the previous floors, even the first one. As you make your way through these hallways, there are two doors right here on either side.
Okay. We'll take a peek in the right one first.
It appears to be a miniature storage of sorts, although not of any foodstuffs or anything that was even on Kryn's floor. Seems more for like polishing than like anything else. You also, I will say, you also do find a couple of crates filled with whetstones.
My immediate guess is Velvy.
No, who knows?
I mean, that's the only person who would have that.
Going through the left door, you find a pantry filled with foodstuffs. There's a door here and a door here.
Let's check in here real quick.
And going through that door appears to be a much colder storage area for yet more foodstuffs. You enter and are immediately shivering and extremely cold. You take 2 points of cold damage.
Ow.
Yes,
Okay.
for
She's
entering the
getting
room.
up there. She's getting out of there.
Good call.
Cold room.
Cold.
Very cold room.
Going out here, you can see what looks like a large, sparsely foliaged training arena.
Hmm.
It's nowhere near as populated as the meadow on the first floor, so it can't be anything really for nature. Because a lot of what few bits of foliage are here are like bushes and like the generic flower. Nothing extraordinary or anything like that. There are also several doors leading to several different rooms.
It looks like this is a door.
Let's see. This is a door. This is a door. This is a door. This is a door. Yep, that's a door. Hey, I'm just gonna mark all of them real quick. There we go. All of those are doors. Going into this room, looks to be a large barracks with an enormous surplus of beds. Going to this area seems like this is more of a like relaxation area or a living room, if you will. Same for this area over here. Seems like a relaxation area. This area in the very center seems to have an absurdly large number of weapons of all manner.
So there, I see rifles and pistols in there.
Rifles, pistols, swords, shields, axes, all manner of weaponry.
Man.
Bringing them back, boys. I'm bringing the gunbreakers back.
What's in these two rooms here?
This is a latrine.
Ah.
I was about to say, that looks like a shitter.
Yes, as is this one. And the two rooms directly beside them appear to be studies directly next to the shitters. Because that's never a bad idea.
I mean, hey!
I'm just laughing at the shitter shares the wall with the cold room. That's just a little gross.
Yeah. I mean, I get that it's probably insulated and shit, but...
And shit is right.
Shit is indeed right.
You're either gonna get real chilly taking a dump, or the food's gonna start smelling like fucking... like, literal shit.
There's also a staircase in this room right up here.
Okay, well, let's go to the staircase.
Alright. I don't have a map for this because Dungeon Alchemist does not have the models that I need for this, so I will simply tell you what you see when you enter.
Okay.
It's an extremely small space, especially by comparison. It is a singular room that is circular with a domed top. About halfway up the walls, it transitions from a solid stone to a like domed glass structure that encompasses it, where you can look out and see what looks like a crystallized, an etherical crystal pathway that has several platforms that have formed, and it looks almost like it's formed some kind of path.
Sick.
In the center of the room, however, you can see this singular large circular platform, and floating above it is this large sphere with these three rings that are all spinning about individually around, very slowly, but individually around this one sphere. Hmm. Hmm.
Out of my room.
Hmm.
Well, it must be Shade then, huh? He's the only one left.
Pretty much. But I mean, the weapons rooms can be used for almost any of us for training.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I would say we can. I mean, what else is in the room? Is there like nooks and crannies to explore as well, or?
Nope. The only thing within this room is this one large spherical object that's just floating there in the center.
I'm gonna go over and go and try to mess around with it.
Yeah, touch it.
Yeah, sure.
It's a
Why
button.
not?
It's a big button. You gotta touch it.
What you can do?
I just, I'm just gonna kind of look around it, and then just kind of try to like do like a are you there kind of wave in front of it, and then just kind of give it a poke.
Okay. I'm just gonna repost this GIF that you posted. Oh, it didn't work. That's unfortunate.
I was about to click it.
I wanted
What are you just
to.
gonna? You're just
I
gonna
wanted to
what?
show
Oh.
the fucking thing. I wanted to show the gift. There we go.
Oh,
As you poke it, this wave of ether erupts out from it and immediately kind of sends you stumbling back just a little bit, not too forcefully, but all three of the rings begin rapidly spinning around it and begin picking up speed until they just look like blurs of motion surrounding it. And all of you are immediately overcome with this, like, sense of lethargy that immediately vanishes. And as you look at your hands, you feel like you're moving faster, but like visually, you're still moving at the same speed.
Oh, I should not have touched this.
This is cool.
Pushing the random red button. What does this button do?
Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
button, you have to touch it.
I am DD.
You really are at this point.
What does this
I mean,
button do?
she was kind of a ditz. Aidwin's kind of a ditz.
True.
You're both blonde.
Adwin's not blonde.
Shut up.
She's blonde in spirit for sure.
What do you do? What do you guys do? Just stand up there?
Is it still spinning?
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's still spinning.
Touch it again.
Alright. You reach up and press your hand against it, and that wave of aether that erupted outwards floods back through you, but in the opposite direction, and all of the rings immediately almost not completely stop, but go back to that very slow spin they had almost immediately. And that feeling of quickness fades.
Excuse me.
I gotta check my character sheet for something. Would this be an appropriate time to use something like an insight to see if I can determine what it is?
No, this would be an investigation, because insight is you trying to like measure someone's like truthfulness or whatnot.
Okay.
Truthfulness and
Normal?
Yeah. Well,
No,
this is a
right?
machine.
Oh, it's a machine? Do I get advantage?
If you have some, I think you have something that gives you advantage if you're investigating machines, correct?
I'm checking them now. I think. Hold it.
Worst case, I can give you advantage by helping you out.
I know, but I'm checking to see if I have anything. That's
Yeah.
not it. Uh, 12
Is Kryn just that good, or does Kryn need help?
Soul of the Machinist. Hold on a second.
I feel like you do.
That's not it.
Because I remember when you were in the laboratory.
I have one that lets me do investigation checks or get advantage for investigation checks while I'm in a city,
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
but not for
Uh,
anything else. So if you want to
alright.
assist me to give me advantage, I would
I will.
appreciate it.
All right. So go ahead and roll with advantage. 35. As you begin looking over this
I'm
machine,
helping.
you are actually. As you begin
You
looking
help
over
a
this
lot.
machine, it becomes clear through as you two begin to sort of discuss what you felt and how it seems the effect worked and everything. This does appear to be some kind of extremely ancient Magitech-like device. There is nothing feeding this device aether, however, like a standard Magitech device would have. From what you gather, it seems like the ether that it uses, it either already had or maybe absorbs from the ambient atmosphere of the area you're in. The effect didn't necessarily seem to slow, or rather, it didn't necessarily seem to speed you guys up so much as it felt more like it was slowing things down.
Hmm.
It didn't, however, feel like a bad thing for you, or for your party. It was just, it felt similar to haste. But there's something about it that's different, but you're not quite sure what. This is not a device that either of you are necessarily familiar with or have seen or studied before.
We'll have to get the details from Ginger, but I think this is a way to haste us and advance time so we can work on large projects in a short amount of time. I'm guessing. I really am. I'm just throwing shit out there.
Not a bad guess.
I was suspecting that before, but I had to find a way to investigate that.
Yeah. I mean, a 35 will do it.
Hey, Bate. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling so great. I think I need a dip. I'm having a hard time
That's
keeping my eyes open because I feel like crap right now.
Yeah, no problem. We don't have too long left anyway, so no problem. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Feel well soon.
I hope so. I need to head to the hospital soon. This is fucking shitty.
Oof.
Anyway, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Alright, good night.
Have a
Alright.
good one. I'm gonna have to get going soon myself too, because
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, like I said, we don't have too much left, so. All right. So, do you two return to the rest of the party then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Yes?
All right. So coming back down, for Velvy and Star. I know Star, you were looking after your new compatriot. Are you just there with her, Velvy, as well?
Yes, I am.
Alright. She does not awaken in the time that your companions are exploring. However, as your companions return down the stairs, you both see Ginger walking in through the doorway.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
I'm gonna stop off and check on the little on Shisumi. real
Still
quick as
asleep.
well. Okay.
She looks to you, Adwin, and says, so I have a few things I need to discuss with you and your party. I promise they won't take up too much time. If you could go and gather them for me.
Yeah, of course. One sec. And Aiden will go and do that.
Dar says she can come here.
Aiden just kind of like, you mind coming with us? We're kind of
Sure,
doing
sure.
a little thing.
And she follows
Thank
you to the rest of the party. As she enters, she looks down at you, Star, and over at you, Velvy, and just kind of nods and says, "Right. So I promise this won't take up too much of your times. I just had a couple of things I wanted to speak to you all about. First and foremost, let me get these out of the way." And she snaps her fingers, and in her other hand, you can see what you all very clearly recognize as a Magitech arm. One that is far shinier and a little bit thicker than the one that Velvy currently has. And she turns to you, Velvy, and smiles and says, "Now, I like to call this little baby Joyful Ginger's multi-purpose multi-arm. I promise it'll do you wonders."
I look forward to seeing what it can do.
She hands it over to you and says, "We'll get to changing out your old one here in a moment. As for you," and she looks down to you, Star, and snaps her fingers once again, and a seemingly innocuous black blindfold appears in her hand, and she puts it in yours, Star. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check, real quick, as she hands you this blindfold. As you grasp it, this feels like an extremely refined and very, very soft velvet. You, with your knowledge of weaving, you're not entirely sure what fabric this is, but based just off of how it feels, this has to be some pretty expensive fabric. You can also feel these like runic sigils that are like woven into the fabric itself. And she says, "That, my dear, I like to call Joyful Ginger's all-seeing, all-knowing eyes." You will have
Find
to
a way to activate and deactivate it?
I did. Now you will have to attune to it still, unfortunately. I couldn't quite work that out of the enchantment. But I did also manage to enhance its sight so that it's not quite as limited as it once was.
I really should have got her just to put it on my already used blindfold. Because I do not have enchantment rooms. Hattie permanently takes one.
Yeah.
My sight, the fucking...
I mean, you could always remove Curse and forcefully unattune yourself from Hattie. Or, die. That also removes attunements.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm a little bit attached to Hattie, thank you.
Fair enough.
You have other items that you're attuned to, right?
Yeah, but like one of them is always gonna be my sight, and then the other one is the mage's staff.
That's what this blindfold is supposed to replace, is your robe and
We'll
your...
have to see because I mostly got her to move the robe onto this. Now it has activation, deactivation, but I don't know if it has any of the properties my blindfold has right now.
Hmm.
She's right there. Ask her.
It does still function as the robe of eyes.
So it doesn't.
Yes. However, I'm going to send you this. There is a slight benefit. Well, I say slight. It's actually a pretty big benefit to it.
Perhaps I should have gone blind for a while and gave her both.
It says, now, amongst those, with the end of all things as we know it coming, there's a room at the very top of your establishment that houses a powerful but old and little understood artifact. From what I can tell, placing it here means that it can power itself indefinitely. And what it allows you to do is essentially slow the time for any realm outside of this one. Effectively giving you more time to spend in here for relatively little time passing outside. Now, my sources seem to claim that this particular object has the ability to halt time outside of the realm it is placed in, but heavens help me, I could not find out how to activate such an effect, if one does indeed exist on this object.
Now that I know what to look for, I might be able to work with that later.
We did mess with it a little bit. We went exploring the house. It looks beautiful, by the way.
Well, thank you. I put a lot of effort into some of these rooms, although a few of them did trouble me with their creations.
Yeah, we definitely found that room and we touched that big thing, and we did feel. I guess it did feel like it felt like stuff was slowing down, except for us. So I guess we could. I mean, now that Kryn knows that it can do that, I'm sure she can figure it out.
Well, more power to you if you can, because I, heavens help me, couldn't. Now, that being said, from what I understand of it, about a day outside equates to about 2 days in here. So you get about 2 hours for every hour that passes out there. However, I would still be careful. In all of my testings, I always made sure that this realm was isolated and had no existing portals outside. I do not quite know what would happen if anything should it be activated with one of those portals open.
That sounds like a bad idea.
It does actually sound like a bad idea, even for me.
Precisely why I never tried it. It's, I figured it was probably not worth the risk.
Sounds like a fantastic way to break space-time.
More than likely. And, well, I rather like my own realm, and, if space-time itself collapsed, I don't think even I would survive it.
Yeah, let's not do that then.
Now, I understand that some of y'all have quite a bit of funds on you. However, there are 2 items more that I would like to give you all before I go and begin my own preparations for the final days. She pulls out, these are legitimate items, so I want to make sure I get the correct description of them. She pulls out this small cube, 3 inches across, that radiates palpable magical energy. It has 6 different sides on it, and she says, "This little boy is what is known as a cubic gates, and I have not honestly had the courage to explore all of the different sides to this particular item, but pressing one side will take you to another plane, if you will. It's primarily how I've been traversing places. However, given your role that I'm sure is to come, y'all likely have more you need of it than I do." So she'll hand that over. Keep in mind, of course, should all creation not come to an end, I would very much like it back. As well as this other item. This particular talisman, and she pulls out the small, that doesn't actually have the description of what it's supposed to look like. Fine, I'll just look for an image of it, and we'll go from there. How about that? Yeah, sure. It's this, like, what looks like a sun, with this, singular red jewel in the very center of it. And she tells you, "This right here is known as a talisman of pure good. And if I do say so myself, it is likely one of the most powerful magical items in existence. Evil creatures tend to fear whoever is wielding this particular talisman. Only one of them exists that I know of. And a creature that is not of good alignments, that deigns to touch it, will find their very flesh burned. And those that are wearing this necklace and attuned to it, should you be of good alignments, has a number of charges. And by using one of these charges against an evil creature, well, should they not be quick enough, they will find that their very existence is erased permanently." I do not necessarily always agree with simply wiping someone from existence. However, this Analder fellow seems like a individual we cannot allow to exist. However, I have no personal stake in this, given my neutrality. She hands it to you, Adwin, putting it in your hand and sort of closing it, and she says, "Analder is your ancestor. I'll leave the decision of his existence to you." She leans in and very abruptly steals a full-on lip kiss from you turns and immediately walks away.
Yeah, when she handed it to her, she looked very confused and concerned and like worried, and then it was just replaced with full fluster and blush in the face, and she's just uh, and now she's doing dial-up noises.
Her eyes just turn to blue screens.
Yeah. She doesn't even know how to process right this second.
Well, if no one stops her, Ginger leaves the house.
Ginger, wait 1 second. By not good, are you talking about only evil creatures will get destroyed by that thing, or
Yes, it will
Okay.
only destroy evil creatures. However,
All
even a creature of neutrality, should they not also be good, would suffer harm from it if they should deign to try and touch it.
won't touch it? Got it.
So basically, if your alignment does not say good in it, don't touch it.
Yeah, my alignment does not say good on it, so I will not touch it. Got it. Confirmed.
Yeah. I feel like the only people whose alignments are good are probably... Stars is just not... It doesn't have a alignment on that side, does she?
I think she's neutral good, isn't she?
I thought I was chaotic good.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm dozing
It's
really
something.
bad.
Yeah, I'm about to end. Don't worry.
I was gonna say, I think maybe Veldy's also good.
Yeah.
I feel like she's
Yeah.
lawful good.
No.
Oh. Neutral good.
Yeah, probably falls there.
Uh-huh.
Roundabouts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that for my campaigns, the alignment you list is not your character's alignment, because that's entirely subjective, and you cannot argue that any other way. The way I do alignments is the alignment you list is what the cosmos sees your character as, because there are laws defined by the cosmos that, like murder is an inherently bad thing. Like if you just murder someone, it's an evil act, period. Right? If you have a legitimate reason for it, sure, it's not an evil act. But 99.99% of the time, it's an evil act. And regardless of what your character personally thinks, if the cosmos looks at you and says that's not a valid reason, it's an evil act, and the cosmos will deign it as such. So your character's alignment is what they personally believe their alignment to be, like how they see their actions and whatnot, but the alignment listed is what the cosmos sees it as. Is like, no, you are neutral good, or you are chaotic evil, or whatever. So, generally speaking, it doesn't matter for you guys, but in this particular instance, it actually does.
Well,
So,
it's not burning
Right.
Aidwin, so
yeah.
well, or
I mean, Aidwin's
whatever it
good,
would
isn't
be.
it? Isn't she?
Yeah, neutral good.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're fine. Good. I didn't completely fuck up by having her shove that into your hand. I forgot to look at your alignment. I was like, she's probably good, right? Like, she's a ditzy hero. Like, she's good.
I'm just glad you didn't shove it into my hand.
No. Look, Jinder finds you hot, but she's in love with Aidwin, okay? But yeah, with that is where I'm going to call it for tonight. Ginger also has an increased capacity for magic items over the coming weeks. She has all common, uncommon, and rare magic items, as well as all materia up to rare now, excluding summoning materia. She also has several legendary items in her shop that, if you wish to go and peruse, I will let you know. I also have a channel that I'm going to be revealing shortly for downtime. Anything y'all wish to do, you can put there. If you want to discuss something with me in person, we can have that done as well. And yeah, so for the next 2 weeks, y'all have some downtime. What that translates in game to is y'all have a year.
Yeah.
A year.
1 year is what you have.
Velvy is doing a bunch of training.
I will also say that training and crafting is further enhanced due to this artifact. So what would normally, let's say, spitballing, let's say what would normally take 30 hours takes 15. Same with training. If training would normally take 100 days, it instead takes 50.
So now is the time to get all of the skill proficiencies and shit that we really
Yes.
want.
This is the game being like, hey, when you progress past this point, there's no turning back. Better make sure you saved and did everything you need to. However,
see.
keep in mind that if you leave, when you come back, the time that will have passed for them compared to you will be significant. Because depending, of course, on how long you stay out, because it's a 1-to-2 ratio. So 1 week in here is 3.5 days outside.
Mm-hmm.
So
So the slow thing is going into big effect then.
yes, it effectively halves all time. Like all
I
time.
mean, even then,
requirements. So,
6 months outside, I mean,
yeah,
the
look,
end of the world is happening.
right. And y'all can go out and y'all can help. And here's the thing. We're not really given a time frame for anything that's happening in game, so I'm going off of whatever I want. And
I mean,
given what we see when the Warrior of Light returns, it feels like quite a bit of time has passed because they've been like barely holding things back, and like they've been like running from what the in-game dialogue says. The Scions run themselves ragged trying to contain and deal with everything. So I'm saying 6 months outside, so a year inside.
I gotta get going.
Yep, no problem. If you want to just drop your questions real quick, you can, or you can just drop them as text, whatever you want to do.
I'll drop them as text tomorrow.
Gotcha.
I'm
Already
passing
knows.
out on the
Good evening.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Have a good
no
evening,
problem, Star.
everyone.
We can get your answers
guys
later, Star. No
later.
problem. So in that case, we'll go ahead with you two and Adwin. We'll start with you. Hi.
oh boy. She's got lots of things. Oh, that artifact's probably it's probably attunement, huh?
The
The amulet of pure good.
yeah, it is attunement required. I did look that up.
Shit. I don't know if I have an attunement slot. I don't think I do.
I have a shit ton of attunement slots.
Well, y'all do also have a year for training and whatnot. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to
Is that
like
something we
attune
can
more.
train?
Who knows? I mean, you trained sorcery points that you got from a feat.
True.
Who knows? Maybe. You got a year's worth of training that you can try.
Yeah, getting at least in Arcana proficiency, if not just flat out fucking just expertise, is something that is going to happen.
Yeah. Plus, you're a primal. Like, just consume a whole bunch of aether and maybe you can just force it. Who knows?
I mean,
Who knows? But what's your 3 questions?
I like how it's like kind of just discovered a whole bunch of stuff. We're finally getting some answers, and then all of a sudden we're just staying inside for 6 months.
Well, a year.
Year.
Although you could leave, y'all could leave and go and help the Scions if you wanted. Like, that's the thing. You could do some like training inside, leave for like a week outside, go and help the Scions, like whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's probably something that Adwin would do, since she literally did offer them, like, hey, if you need help, call us up.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I mean, in general, it was fun, and then Adwin gets smooched
Yeah.
from Ginger, and then I can't say I disliked anything, and looking forward to next time
Oh boy.
on
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh man, I was waiting for the moment where she could give you that talisman so she could steal your first kiss. Honestly, her giving you the talisman for her is half the reason she wanted to give you it is so that way she could steal your first kiss.
Oh my god.
Or what she's hoping to be your first kiss anyway.
I'm trying to decide if some of the stuff I've done with role plays with her is canon or not. I don't know.
Are you talking about the dream? By now, yes, it has happened.
I mean, yeah, I know that, but other stuff I've done with her in character in 14 when I was role playing as her.
Oh, you're talking about Adwin. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like role playing with Ginger.
No,
I was like, I didn't know is she in the game? Excuse me? What the fuck? Are they actually stealing my shit? Like, I swear to God, if they put an NPC in their name, Joyful Ginger, you can't tell me that's not fucking ripped from my game.
What?
Especially if it's a female Rogadin. Oh my God. Like.
I mean, it is a Rogan name. I mean.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, that's it for me though.
All right. And what about you, Crane?
I had a great time. I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed the lab. You will find her probably there 90% of our year away.
99.
Because I'm going to be talking to you about stuff for crafting that I want to do.
Yeah.
But I'll have to work with you on that because I have to find out what feats and stuff like that I can qualify myself as training up on.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, I forgot to actually tell you this. 'Cause everything was going so fast. When you went to go check in on Chisume, she had your soul crystal in her hand.
Okay, I am snatching my soul crystal.
Yes, so you now are the first one to have it. I totally fucking spaced that. But it's in the recording, so it's okay.
Stuff I didn't like. There's nothing I didn't like. Tonight was actually fun. I enjoyed everything about tonight. What I am looking forward to, depending on how me and you converse, I'm gonna craft the shit out of shit. I am gonna
craft
make
the shit out of shit. Oh man.
We are level 20. Okay.
Yeah.
The possibilities of crafting are just out there.
You also have, really powerful spellcasters with a whole variety of spells. So.
Exactly.
I have not only the red mage spell list, but also the white and black mage spell list.
Yeah.
Because of how that new ability that Bait gave me works.
Yep. He's an actual red mage. He can do red mage things now.
So what I really want to do is craft arms and armor. And with all these mages and clerics and white mages that we have, I'm thinking we can get almost any enhancement we want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I mean, you have all those enchanting tables and all those books and all those herbs and all the things. It'd be great. Who knows?
Exactly. Right. But I'm going to be gone for just a little bit because I'm going to have Joyful Ginger teleport me to the place where I can get the airship built. So when we come back after our year, we'll have the airship.
Oh boy. That would be
go
Ishgard.
Down there.
That was the reason y'all were in Ishgard, so that way you could do it.
Right. Oh, so if I can get back to Ishgard, then I don't need her. I'll go back to Ishgard.
You
order
are
the
attuned
ship.
to the Aetheryte initiative.
Yes. So I'll go back there, order the airship, come back, start crafting on this, go back, pick it up, bring it in to the extra dimensional space, and tie it off to the top floor of the thing, because that was supposed to be our landing dock anyway.
Well, y'all had decided not to get the airship itself fitted with the ability to travel through the planes because it was too expensive.
Oh.
At the time, y'all didn't
Okay.
have the money to afford it.
Is that something we can add on later or no?
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Like I said, we
retrofit.
can-
I mean, there are like actual ships that can be retrofitted with like new shit. You know, like, it's not
Right.
impossible to retrofit a ship, especially an airship, with like new things. Especially when you got wibbly wobbly timey wimey space magic.
Yeah.
So
I could have it built and it'll be waiting there so we can have our airship to go anywhere.
yeah, that'd be great.
Huh.
I'll just give y'all another fucking Ragnarok. It'll be fine. All right. Well, I do hope they at least come back to watch the end of this. That way they can hear all the questions and everything.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's what I'm looking forward to, is getting that
Okay.
airship done over this year. Again, I don't have to stay there for its construction.
Sure.
I'm just going to give them the money for the
The money and the
construction
blueprints.
crew. Yep, the money, the blueprints, and have it ordered to be picked up and have it available in a few months or whatever.
Yeah.
And then hire the crew, and then
Yeah, the crew's the only thing that wasn't just combined into the initial 70,000 cost. So
but we still had plenty of money left over.
true. And y'all still have plenty of money left over. So
Right.
all right. Well, I will say I loved the entire session. I love that y'all actually went out, so that way the entire transcribed cutscene that I spent like 2 hours doing didn't just go to waste. I remember I messaged, I think it was Mars and Aidwin. I was like, "Oh my god, I spent so long transcribing these cutscenes." I was like, I picked a bad cutscene to start transcribing because holy shit, it just kept going. I'm like, is this ever gonna end? Oh my god! But
Yeah, some of those cutscenes, some of the cutscenes really like to
just
just.
kind of go and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get
But
that they
it's
have a
great.
lot of lore to
Yeah.
say, and
I mean, I like it, but it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
transcribing that shit is like, nightmare.
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved it all. Like I said, my favorite thing was just the very end, just being able to have Ginger just steal Aidwin's first, because I knew how Aidwin was gonna react, especially after her dream. I knew how she was gonna react, so I was like, yeah, she's gonna do it. Plus, like, when's a better time to steal the kiss of your love than at the end of the world?
I mean, yeah.
She might not get another chance. This could be the last time she ever sees you. So, but yeah. What I disliked, it's just that it ended. That's it. That's the only thing. I'm looking forward to us coming back on the 2nd. It's gonna be super great, super fun.
And so we are coming back on the 2nd.
No, sorry, the 9th. The 9th. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
We're taking the 26th and the 2nd off, and then we're coming back on the 9th. So you guys have 2 weeks of just kind of, you can chill, relax your brains, and kind of think about what you want to do during the downtime. And, I'll make sure, at the very least, if we discuss it over voice, I'll at the very least make sure to jot it down in downtime, so that way you know how long your character has left before the end. Or before the end of the time frame and everything. So, but yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to. It's just us coming back, so that way y'all get to see exactly what happens. Because even I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I will say, Aidwin, I'm at the final area.
I love Ultima Thule.
Well, I wasn't gonna say the name because I'm still recording, but
Oh.
It's okay. I'll cut it out. I'll cut it out. I'll just